your life.
This is row 1, seat 1.
Well, this is nice. When did we start doing this? Nobody told me about this. I thought everything sucked now. Do you have a card?
You shake my bones and you rat on my balls.
I'm going to, okay? Jada, I love him. Can't wait to see it. All right?
Luck is for dudes.
I'm like, Joey can't get to his damn computer and phone fast enough to just smash everything he can possibly say.
That means every fucking thing to me.
Broncos country. Let's ride.
Welcome, 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 ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for joining us. It is another episode of Row 1, Seat 1 right here, live on the one, the only, the New Bedford Guide, Joey Fats Radio. Thank you all for joining us on this first show of 2023.
Yeah.
We are here. We are live. And boy, do we got a lot to talk about tonight.
Oh, yeah.
No, we don't.
I mean,
Actually, you're right. We could probably
it
wrap
is
this up in
pretty-
about 10 minutes.
it is pretty cut and clear what we have to talk about, but you
Well,
can imagine.
Obviously,
LeBron James.
yeah,
Oh, what?
we could talk about Luka and how he's
Jesus.
going off.
Dick slap in the league right now.
Obviously, well, first of all, thank you for joining us. 774-992-8702 is the phone number if you want to give us a call and get your thoughts and your feelings out on the air tonight and share them with us. Obviously, there was an incident last night during the Monday Night Football game that caused this game to be suspended indefinitely. Sounds like it's probably not going to be able to be played. Damar Hamlin suffered a cardiac arrest on the field. For those of you that didn't see it, I'm sure you already did. I'm sure I'm not telling you anything that you already haven't heard. Just to set the proper expectations for the show here tonight, we are not going to spend 2 hours talking about Damar Hamlin. Okay, this is not. I am not like Florio. This is not pro football talk. I am not going to bore the shit out of you with, oh my God, it was so devastating. I was sitting downstairs when I was there and I saw it happen live, and it turned my stomach. We get it. It was tough to watch.
It was shocking, yeah.
It was
I
shocking. It
honestly
was
had-
something we've never seen before. So we're not going to sit here and do what all the talking head shows did today and do what all the other radio shows did today and sit here and just talk about it like and act as if this was like 9/11 reincarnate. Like this is not what we're going to do. We're going to give you the facts. We're going to break down the rumors that are still that have been debunked and proven to be unfounded. We'll give you the real story, and then we will move on, as everybody did this morning. Because, look, no one ever wants to see what we saw last night, at any point, let alone during a Monday Night Football game, right?
No.
We
Much
don't ever.
less 24-year-old kid.
Second year in the league.
Second year.
Second
second year.
2021 draft. 2021
Yeah,
six-round
second
pick.
year. Second year in the league.
6th-round pick out of Pitt.
On a contending team, national football game where the most eyes are always watching, collapses after a tackle.
Right.
And we're not going to.
Worst case scenario.
I
Exactly.
feel bad because I'm looking at the time on the clock and the situation. I'm like, there's no way he's like pulling the whole like pretend to fake an injury thing because A, what's his face got fucking fined for that a couple weeks ago, and B, I'm like, there's nothing really. I'm like, damn, this like something happened to that dude. It's a scary situation when you just see somebody get up from a tackle. He looks okay.
And you guys both said it, and I had it on like my iPad, and I was like watching something else and watching the game because I do like I multitask. I'm with my
Same.
wife. I'm watching like
I was throwing darts.
Yeah,
Right.
I was watching the game as it happened. I'm sitting there watching it.
So you said it, or one of you said it, and I'm like, all right, let me pay attention. And it shows the replay, and then the replay happened like a bunch of times over. And
Right.
I'm like, oh shit! I guess it's a lot of times.
It was a nice
the first
pop,
time.
you know what I mean?
First time I saw it, and I was like, oh, he blacked out. Like either like. Maybe he's dehydrated.
You thought like he passed out or something.
Yeah, he passed out. I'm like, he
Right,
got knocked out because the way he fell, I'm like, maybe he fell on his head a little bit and it like knocked him. And you know, you
like
get
a
up and you
Tua
see
thing,
start.
like a Tua thing.
So I was like, oh damn, he got knocked out. I'm like, that's bad. And then all of a sudden, you start hearing, hey, he's not getting up, and the medics are in the field, and they said, and then you hear CPR.
I didn't hear CPR until
I
they were
did.
about 9 minutes
I had-
after
I had-
when
I had
they
come over-
had
Me too,
mentioned
but
it.
that's exactly when I heard it. And then you hear half an hour later that during that 9 minutes, he also had an AED. AED is the chest compaddles where they have to shock you to bring you back to life.
Right.
Okay, that is
They were
very
doing.
bad.
They were doing bona fide life-saving procedures.
They said he went into cardiac arrest.
He did. It's a condition. It's a phenomenon known as commotio cordis, which is
carditis.
Carditis, whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's Latin for agitation or disruption of the heart. Basically, there's like a millisecond or fractions of a millisecond window during each beat your heart takes where a strong enough impact can
Really
disrupt
fuck it up.
can disrupt your heartbeat and send you into cardiac arrest. That's anybody who's been around like slow pitch softball or baseball. You know what I mean? Like you've heard about this. You're aware of it because line drives go back. They hit people and people tend to like and they try to get it. They take it in the chest and it can stop your heart. And so it's like one of those things that like it exists, but you're not. No one's particularly worried about it. It could be a billion times, and the potential for that occurring are very, very slim to none. Now that's what we're assuming happened.
Yep.
We don't actually know.
That's just the reports of what we.
Well, we don't know what actually happened. We don't know. He could have had, for all we know, this kid could have had a pre-existing heart condition.
Right.
And just that was it. Who knows? But I'm sure we'll all find out at some point. Don't worry. The internet will leave no stone unturned.
Right. Of course not.
So we'll get all the answers. We'll get all the information.
We'll hop on Reddit
That
tonight.
being said, there was an element to this injury that obviously it was tough to watch. You never want to see a 24-year-old kid go down for any reason. But this one was tough to watch. But the fake outrage on social media today was just mind-numbing. Joey Fats Radio, row 1, seat 1.
What's going on, boys?
Durant.
What up?
What's happening?
Just kicking things off here, talking about last night's game, obviously. The number one story in the country right now. So
We're sure you were watching it, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. Nah, absolutely. We can stick to that topic also. I mean, it's definitely the number one thing in the country right now. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's we're not going to spend the whole show on it, like I said, or to start the show. Like I want to get out what we got to get out about it. We'll acknowledge it. Obviously, they don't do anything, but my thoughts and prayers are with the kid and his family.
Of course, there's only so much you can do and talk about.
But yeah,
You just wish the kid's okay. That's all. You know what I mean?
But we're gonna go.
We're
We're gonna get into this too from like a logistical standpoint for the NFL and what's gonna happen here, because even though that's been a pretty taboo thing on social media the last 24 hours, because God forbid, you talk about the ramifications of the injury rather than just sitting there and curling up into a ball and crying because a kid was seriously hurt during a football game.
Right. Well, I mean, let's talk about the play because I thought Bart Scott had an interesting take on it. I don't know if you guys seen, but
unfortunately,
he actually blamed T. Higgins for leading with the crown of the helmet.
I
didn't see a ton of that, but I wanted your guys' take on it.
No. I didn't hear you. Everybody saw the fucking play. There was no crown of the helmet.
Bart Scott said T. Higgins, and I'm glad Durant brought this up because I was going to bring it up a little bit later. But Bart Scott essentially said what he did was he lowered his helmet into his chest, which should be an illegal move.
Bart Scott was basically sticking up. He says defenders can't do this. Why is it still legal for offensive players to do this?
I know.
And now he's using the injury to further that agenda.
That's a scummy fucking move to throw that on T. Higgins, though.
Exactly.
Like it's his fault.
Dumb.
Bro.
That's a bad take, a poor take, a poor taste take.
Heartbroken last night, like crying during the game.
And look, we talk about it all the time, right? Like defenders are basically playing with one hand tied behind their back these days. They can't hit anybody, and believe me, I've got some videos with roughing the passer that are going to blow your fucking mind. Yeah. Stay tuned if you'll I got some good stuff for you.
I agree with all you guys that it's a bad take is yes, they have the rule you can't lead with the crown of the helmet on the offense as well, but when is it essentially called? Last time I can remember that being called was on my guy Josh Jacobs last year versus the Falcons.
I was going to say it happens like once, maybe twice a year where an offensive player gets called for leading with the crown of the helmet.
They called it on Jacobs last year.
When they first initiated it, what was it, 2 years ago now?
2 years ago, 3 years ago.
They went crazy heavy with that penalty. Anytime a guy even lowered his head as a running back, they were like, flag. Even if he didn't make contact, they just flagged him. And then people really bitched about that.
I don't see those calls, really.
No, because it got so much...
I don't remember. Honestly, I don't think I've seen one yet this year.
No, neither have I. No, it got so much backlash that they just basically said, just ignore this fucking rule. We're not going to go with it.
Right. But yeah, that's a bad take by Bart Scott. I get where he's coming from, why is it legal for offensive players to do it but not defensive players?
Watch the play again. It's
But-
not even close.
Right, but it doesn't. I get his point, but this ain't it, dog. This isn't the spot.
So I just watched the play, and there's no fucking way that you could even relate
And
anything for his helmet having contact.
Even still, like leading with the crown of your helmet, like into somebody's chest, like I don't the probability of this injury occurring, assuming it is what is it called, the commotio carditis.
Yeah.
I know carditis because
well,
it has to do with your heart.
What gets
Right.
me too is some of these headlines are,
Cardio.
man goes down after a vicious hit, and I saw a routine football play.
That was not a
I
vicious
don't know
hit.
if you guys thought that was vicious.
Listen,
but I
not,
thought that was
not even
routine.
the least bit vicious, dude. It was a nice pop, just like you have with any pads,
was-
clashing pads. Nice little pop. He
That
held
tackle
on
has
to
been
him.
made billions of times.
Billions.
It's for
over the
it's
NFL's
for first
history.
place in the AFC. They're being competitive. That's it.
No, they're just even if they weren't, even if it was her last place in the AFC, it's just that's
I've
football.
seen the same type of hit in the fucking
I mean,
Pro
that was
Bowl,
your
for Christ's
basic
sakes.
5-yard drag route over the middle, and the guy finished finished the run, and the guy finished the tackle. It was very routine. to
It
me.
was, and it's very unfortunate that he suffered the injury he did, and nobody wants to see that again. It sucks, and the fact that this happened to this guy. I mean, this is such a 1 in a billion shot.
I mean, probably even more than that.
If again, assuming it is what we think it
Those are good odds.
that we're assuming that it is what it is, like
Right,
that it is
right.
that instance where you get hit at the exact wrong moment and you go into cardiac arrest. This is we're assuming he doesn't have a pre-existing condition. That listen, we'll get into it as the show goes on, but did the vaccine have something to do with this? Will we ever find out? There is a lot to go in here, and we don't know. So we're going to assume that this kid got hit at the exact wrong moment, and just like that sucks, dude. Like, damn. Like, you have, of all the milliseconds in a day,
Yeah.
you had to pick that one to get a truck stick to the chest.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Hey,
Like,
so I'm gonna keep this short today and close out with this, but hypothetically, I'm hoping this isn't the case, but if this guy dies, what does that mean for the NFL?
I mean, like, what do you mean, like, in terms of like football in general, or just the NFL as a league, or
Like, what do
Is
you
this the end
think?
of football as we know
What
it?
do you think? Yeah, like, what do you think the NFL will do moving forward? Like, how do you think they'll handle it? I know it's hard to answer that. It's a tough.
They'll
It's a big question.
they'll build a statue for him. They'll open up a foundation. They'll raise awareness. They might make some rule changes that we all know won't do anything, but they'll change some rules to say that they did something.
Right.
But at the end of the day, nothing's gonna happen.
Right.
Nothing's gonna change.
They might allocate some funds for some like advertising on how they're trying to make the game safer through technology and pads and
Right.
helmets and stuff
Like,
like
there's
that.
nothing. Durant, honestly, at the end of the day, nothing will change. The NFL is so bulletproof at this point that even somebody dying on the field won't take away. Listen,
Right.
if there was a
Business has
football,
to
if
still
there
go
was a
on.
football game,
Business
if
has
there was
to
a
still go
football,
on.
if there was a football game
I hear
tonight,
you.
we would all be watching it.
Fuck yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
right, no one's. I'm not tuning in on Saturday night to watch football because this happened.
Well,
I'm
the odds
100%
of this
tuning in.
the odds of this happening again too was slim to none.
Right, but what I'm saying
I mean,
is-
so soon.
But I'm saying, a guy dying on the field isn't enough to get people to go away from football. Nothing.
Yeah,
gets
I mean,
people away from football.
Joey's been saying it for years now. It's just a matter of time. These guys are bigger, faster, stronger.
Yeah, the level of I mean,
Look, I mean, the longer you do something, the more likely you are to see a death or something like that, especially in a game that's this violent. Like, I'm honestly surprised we haven't seen one yet.
well, like we were
And
talking about last night.
let's not mince words. We still haven't, by the way.
Right.
We still haven't. I mean, the worst one we saw was in recent memory was Ryan Shazier.
Yep.
That was pretty
kid,
bad.
That kid Everett from
From
the
the Bills.
from the Bills
In
against
2007
John
against the
Lynch,
Broncos.
yep.
And then and before that was Darryl Stingley when he took that hit from Jack Tatum. Like, those were the big ones that stand out. I know there's probably more and I'm forgetting them, but
Right.
those are the big injuries that stand out, but that wasn't enough to deter people to walk away from the NFL. There isn't anything that is that grand or that tragic that would get people to be like, you know what? I'm all set with this game.
The only thing, unfortunately, that I can see is back when those injuries happened, and even the Shazier one, like maybe the Everett one was like the last, like the public wasn't as outraged and as sensitive and wanted to fucking,
Well, social
pad the
media
walls
wasn't
of everything.
Social media wasn't as grand as it is
words
now.
didn't hurt back then. You know what I mean? They do now. So you can imagine the severity of what's going
Right.
on
I mean,
the
if-
football field in today's
I
day
feel
and
like
age.
in today's world that we live in, I feel like people will more second guess playing football versus just
Yeah, you're gonna see a
just
lot of
doing it.
parents maybe pulling their kids and
Listen,
shit.
I
You
don't
never
think
know.
I don't
They've been
think
doing that now.
I don't think there's any problem with young kids not playing football. Like you don't need to be playing football in elementary school.
You don't need all
Right.
those hits.
You don't need to do that. Like you can go be an athlete. Go play soccer. Go play basketball, baseball. Play everything as a kid.
And I'll tell you
play
what.
all the
Yeah,
sports.
be Bo Jackson.
When I played for New Bedford Pop Warner back in
Well,
96,
exactly.
97,
That kind of just
97,
makes my
98.
point, though. It's like, I feel like people will more second guess playing that sport, because of the, the
But once you get to the
repercussions,
once you get to the high school
you know?
level, Durant, like this is the thing. Once you get to the high school, especially the collegiate level, there's going to be no shortage of people wanting to play football. The money is too enticing. Look, my only
right,
regret
that's all out the window. At
My
that
only
point.
regret about playing football is that I didn't play it enough. I only played 1 year of college football,
Facts. I didn't play it enough either.
and I wish I'd played more.
Yeah.
If I knew I was going to be 6'3", 325, 330 pounds, then I probably, when I was 17 years old, 16 years old, might have been like, you know what? Maybe there's a future in this for me.
I'm gonna be
Maybe
bigger
I
than
should.
Vince Wilfork,
Maybe
bro.
I should give this. Maybe I should give this football thing a fair shake. Maybe I got a little. Maybe I got something. At very least, maybe I can get a decent college education for on the cheap. Probably not going to get to the league. That's you're never going to be. To think that would be silly, but I probably could have gone higher than Bridgewater State University, the Bridgewater State University, but. And that's not a knock on Bridgewater, but I didn't know I was going to be this size, with my strength and everything I've acquired over the years through lifting and playing and training. But that's about it, though.
So I'm glad
my-
somebody brought that up, but I just wanted to jump this in really quickly because this happened in 2020 in another sport. It happened overseas. It happened in Europe. It happened during soccer. Christian Eriksen collapsed in the middle of a Euro 2020 game and suffered cardiac arrest.
I have a whole supercut. It's like 58 seconds long
Yeah.
of soccer players, basketball players, volleyball players all collapsing just in the last 2 years since the vaccine has become mandatory. So there is that angle of it. Now that's why the video exists because it's a supercut of all all these
and
things.
someone's trying to spin their own narrative. I don't think it's the fucking.
I mean, look, I'm not going to sit
Well,
here. And,
this one was before the vaccine even came out. I mean, you can't fucking.
well, that's right. That would not.
Yeah.
That would make this not a thing. But my point, Durant, is that there will be no shortage of football players, of people ready and willing to take every and any risk to get on a football field and potentially make life-changing money.
I put my life on the line for $100 grand a year.
Absolutely,
They're putting their life
think
on the
about
line.
it. There's
for
so many people that
$100,000
don't
a
even make
quarter.
the NFL.
Right, exactly. I mean, listen, man. Look. I wish the state of Massachusetts treated us like the NFL treats its players when something like this happens.
No shit.
Guys have heart attacks at work all the time. We had a guy had a heart attack at work the other day, and they were basically like,
Yeah, here's a 5-gallon jug in the P-trap. Make sure you drop $5 off.
"Yeah, here's a 5-gallon jug. Put some change in it if you got it. I guess. If not, oh well, whatever.
It goes to the family. Here
Who
you go.
cares? You know what I mean? Like, so
And that's a fact.
Again,
that does happen.
it's not a pissing match. I'm not putting it that way, but to your point, Durant, to answer your question, nothing is going to happen in the NFL. The NFL isn't going anywhere. The only way the NFL is going to fail is if the people running it ultimately go all Bud Selig with it, and the next commissioner doesn't know his ass from his elbow, doesn't care. But even still, I don't think the owners will let that happen.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't agree more, man. I mean, moral of the story is business is business,
Facts, brother. Money makes the world go round, baby. Follow the cash.
But all right, I'll let you guys get back to it. Thanks for the call, guys.
All right, Durant.
Yeah.
I'll
Shake it
Talk
easy.
to you later.
I'll talk to you in a couple hours when we're getting blasted on playing shipment.
Set them down.
Yeah, that sounds good, man.
All right,
Let's do
bud.
it.
We'll talk to you in a little bit.
Later.
Thanks for the call. 774-992-8702. That's the phone number if you want to give us a call. My whole thing with this,
Durant poses the biggest question. You know what I mean? What are they going to do after this? You know what I mean?
Nothing. Nothing's going to change. And that's kind of where we're at now. Like, so
I don't know. I think today's day and age is too fucked up where the NFL is going to feel pressured just like – nah, that doesn't really have anything to do with it. NFL is going to feel very pressured to do something, and I don't think you're going to see the same product in the next 2 or 3 years as you're going to see today or even – you know what I mean?
But the thing is, though, is that – and this brings me to the next point, right? And what we want to talk about. And this is why I feel like the way this whole situation is being viewed, there's just so many people being so disingenuous, just so over the top, so emotionally reactive to what they saw last night. And I'm not going to say 90%, I'd say 75% of the people that were most outraged over whatever took place last night were female and don't watch on a day-to-day basis like we do. They're not inundated. Right. So, and I'm not
they
saying
want the pats on the back and the social media claps.
I'm not saying
that
there's not females that can't follow the NFL. That's not my point. I know plenty of females that follow the NFL that can sit here and hold the discussion with any one of us.
Shit, I know a couple that know more than me.
Yep, and probably right, and that's just what we know, right. Who we know personally. But the emotional outrage on social media, and it started last night with Ryan Clark and Scott Van Pelt. I don't have the Ryan Clark video. But basically, Ryan Clark, to paraphrase a little bit, he basically said, like, football is a violent game. This is a byproduct of football. These things happen when you play this game. And Ryan Clark can speak from experience. He had sickle cell anemia, stayed in the hospital for a couple of nights, after a Monday Night Football game in 2008 in Denver. And he got really sick and got really bad. And I'm like, okay, yes, football is a very violent game. Yes, there are a lot of byproducts from football that can negatively impact your health. This was not a byproduct of football. This was a 1 in a billion phenomenon. Like I said, this is more apt to happen in baseball or even slow pitch softball, where you got guys like me who don't know how to swing a fucking bat, but we swing with the power of 1,000 suns.
Right,
and every once in a while we accidentally make contact and we send it right back at the fucking pitcher and it drills him in the chest.
Right, but how can you say that that's not a product of baseball when that's exactly what you're doing? I feel like this is a very much so a product of football.
It can happen when you could fall and hit and trip on something. You could get into a car accident. There's a billion different things that you could do that could cause this phenomenon to occur. If you
facts, absolutely, I get.
So that's is it a byproduct of football? I mean, I guess because you were doing football when it happened,
exactly.
But it's not football related.
Well, this one is football related because he made the tackle, and the tackle is a football move. So, I
understand
that.
But I'm saying from last night when we were talking about how I was saying, I'm like, this isn't like a simulation. This is like real life shit. It's a real life game. It happened in real life. It wasn't somebody sit up there with a button and hit something to make something. It was organic. This is an organic situation that just happened to come through playing football.
Right, but you could say the same thing. You could say the same thing. A guy could punch you in the UFC. A guy, you could get kicked. I mean, you could be playing flag football in the backyard with your buddies.
Bro, fucking, you can get kicked in the chest.
Listen,
I get it.
One of my worst football injuries I ever fucking got was playing two-hand tag football in Ryan's backyard at somebody's bachelor party, and one of our buddies tripped as he was coming to sack me while I was playing quarterback. Right. I went to throw the ball, and he headbutted me and broke 2 of my ribs. That was the single most painful night at the strip club I've ever had.
Right.
And that's not that had nothing to do with the amount of money I spent.
But what I'm saying is, like, just because this it can happen in
you know
a
how much
lot
it sucks
of
getting a lap dance with 2 broken ribs?
No, I don't know. All I'm saying is this injury is not specific to football, so therefore, people, you can't come and attack football as a game.
That's what I'm getting at. It's not unique to football.
Right, I get that. It's not specific to football itself. This can happen anywhere, but you can't sit there and just you can't blanket and say that the NFL is responsible for this happening. It's nobody's fucking fault. Like I said, it's an organic situation.
Yes, agreed.
But that doesn't mean that there shouldn't be any more light shed on it. But that doesn't also mean that there's a fucking definitive answer to solving this shit. Like what most people think, and they're coming to social media and they're attacking the league like they have a fucking visionary in 10 minutes into the future, like they can prevent something from happening before it happens. You can't. You can't do it. The NFL does everything it possibly can fucking do year in and year out with billions of dollars to help the players' health every fucking year.
Yes.
That's a fact. So the attacking the NFL and calling them out and saying that they're insensitive or they're bullshit trying to get the game going 5 minutes later, which is a false fucking accusation, a false report, is complete bullshit.
Right, but that's the problem is again, you have people who don't pay attention to the NFL outside of
like
maybe 12 to 18 hours a year.
You have to look
where
at the
they're not like us,
situation.
where we inundate ourselves with the NFL, right? We are wrapped up in the NFL day in, day out. My entire Twitter feed, social media, everything it's constantly. I'm following Twitter accounts. I'm breaking down film. I'm watching everything I can. I mean, I just watched the Raiders and the Niners before dinner.
Why?
No
reason.
Because it was on, and it was a great game, and I wanted to watch it. And
Give
I
Joey
did.
2 hours. Brock Purdy, next Denver quarterback.
Oh my God, I hate the fact where
Brock
it's like,
Purdy's going to make a great Laker someday, God damn it.
I hate the Tom Brady Peyton Manning handshake, and then it's Homer squinting his eyes, and it's Stidman and Purdy, and I'm like, oh my fucking God, this is why I hate the internet sometimes.
It sucks so bad sometimes. But no, but
all I'm saying is the situation can't be ignored. You have to look at it, but don't go jumping off the fucking ends like these assholes are doing. That's
what people do, and I don't know. I don't understand why. I mean, I know how and why we got here. Social media gives people a voice.
Yeah, that shouldn't have
that
one.
Don't necessarily need to have one. Just because you have an opinion doesn't mean anybody needs to hear it or that it should be put out there. Like if you don't know football, if you don't watch the game and you're not inundated in it and you don't immerse yourself in it like we do on a day-to-day basis, and we are invested. And I'm not saying that you can't have an opinion if you're not immersed in it. However, you should have some sense of self-awareness, which I believe social media has all but removed from most people, is that in order to know what you're saying, to understand the words that are coming out of your mouth.
Just because you can say it doesn't mean you should.
If the 5 minutes warm up, get ready to play thing,
garbage.
That never happened. Joe Buck said that on the air. Troy Vincent said the league never said that. The coaches said the league never asked them to get ready. The players never said to get ready. The officials never told them they had 5 minutes to get ready. All that was happening was that there was
they were packing their shit up on the sideline while they were saying it. And I'm like, whoa, what are they packing up for? You think they're going to come back in 5 minutes and unpack all this shit?
The game was suspended 23 minutes after he collapsed.
But I will say, when they said that in real time, is that really shocking if the NFL said that? I'd be like, man, I can see that happening.
Look, the fact of the fact that you could see the NFL
in
being
real
like,
time,
now play.
Yeah.
That obviously speaks volumes to how we view the NFL and how they handle certain things. That being said, it never happened. It was an erroneous statement made by Joe Buck.
Which we find out later.
We found out later. But again, it's been 24 hours now, okay, like almost to the minute, that that was said. Now, we know that wasn't said, but you still have people, and my timeline is flooded with it. Well, I can't believe the NFL would do this, would say this, tell them to get ready to play in 5 minutes. Their friend just died on the field. Okay, first of all, he's not dead yet. All right, let's not start kicking fucking dirt on his grave, on his casket before he's even dead. Let's give the kid. The kid's gonna have a fighting chance. Okay.
Last night they did tell the players. Someone on the field told the players to Buffalo. And this was like by incarcerated Bob and his retweets, stuff like that. They told the players, his heart stopped beating. He died. They're going into AED, and they're giving CPR. And that's when they show the reaction. I meant to send you guys the video of like Diggs turning around saying, "Oh my God!" and Josh Allen, hands over his mouth, crying, and the players are like just in shock because they were just told like he's not breathing.
Well, we know what the scene on the field was obviously a lot worse. Like we could see the reaction. We knew what they were being told.
So they thought he was dead, done.
Yeah. Okay.
That's it.
And I get it. And Joe Buck, I mean, when he collapsed, they went to commercial. Then they came back. They immediately went back to commercial. You're like, uh-oh.
Oh yeah.
And then they come back. They go to commercial
was
again.
It Lisa Salters? No, was it who was down on the field?
Yeah, I think it was. I don't remember.
It wasn't Lisa Salters. I forget
whoever
who
the
she
Fox
was.
one.
They were doing a lot of filler time, and
well,
I'm like,
you have this notion of like, okay, we understand something's going wrong, and anybody who's been watching the league and or even from my like limited experience with TV and radio, behind the scenes, like that these things are like they're scripted. They're not scripted, but they're timed. They are on a schedule. Right. When you're getting your commercial breaks. When you're getting a TV timeout. Like when these things are coming.
The coach's interview.
When Joe Buck comes back and says, "We have nothing to say. We're just gonna take another break." Right then and there, if you didn't know already, if you hadn't figured it out yet, that was your telltale sign that this is something. This is something very serious. So when that all took place, you're like, okay, this is bad. I knew it was bad right from the get-go. Yeah. As soon as I saw what happened, I said, that's not good.
When I'm like, ooh, non-con, I'm like, was that a contact injury? I'm like, nah, because it kind of happened after the fact. I'm like, he got his fucking bell rung. I'm like, here we go with another concussion thing, just like Tua, and not really understanding obviously the severity that we found out later on. But when he fell, I'm like, there's no implications for a fake injury. There's no 12 men on the field. They're not trying to hurry up. I'm like, I'm trying to run all these things through my head, and I'm like, damn, like, what the fuck is going on? And literally, it was only like you said, like, I forget how many minutes after when they had said we had been doing CPR after like 8 or 9 minutes, and I'm like,
9.
Holy fuck, CPR? I'm like, on the fucking field? I'm like, that's even Adam Schefter, everybody said it. They have never, ever, ever fucking seen this in their life. So, like, how are people supposed to react to it?
This was exactly, and that brings me to my next point. This is an unprecedented situation.
Exactly.
So all these people that are out here like clamoring and like trying to blame the league and demonizing
their
Goodell,
matter of fact feelings and situations. Shut the fuck up. You've never seen this either.
They're like, huh? How did the league not cancel the game immediately? Like, what are they supposed to fucking cancel the game like 30 seconds after the kid collapses?
No.
Like, it took them 23 minutes before they suspended the game indefinitely.
Right.
23 minutes.
Right.
At 9:18. Okay, this happened at 8:55. At 9:18, the game was suspended. And then if you were paying attention and you were looking and reading the, kind of reading the room and looking at the shots that Fox ESPN was showing you, and you saw the Bills guys packing up the sideline, you knew damn well this game wasn't going on anymore.
I was like, oh, they're packing up. I'm like, this game's
That's
done.
it. That's
over.
over.
They're done. They're not.
It's
coming
over.
back.
That's a wrap. So. Again, but people don't. But the problem is that you have people who weren't watching the game last night. Right. They woke up this morning. They saw the news. They saw one of their idiot friends post on Facebook about
13 seconds of research.
I can't believe the NFL took over an hour to cancel this game.
Right.
Okay, but that's not what. And then
those are the NFL haters already.
And then they got to go on. And then they go on social media and they post this. They post this. This very strongly worded, strongly formed opinion based on knowing absolutely fucking nothing about the facts of the situation.
With a link to, like, Daily Snark or something.
My
and you're
God,
like,
dude,
fuck
I can't.
out of here, you fucking clown.
And then you got fucking losers like Mike Florio, who they came on their show today. I've already
I don't even listen to him.
We've already spent enough time on this.
Wait, can we do the one last person wrap up for the one tweet?
Oh, right. Well, we're gonna do the Skip Bayless thing, and we're gonna move on.
I was gonna bring it up. Shannon Sharp skipped Undisputed, by the way. Just want to let you know.
Yeah, but Shannon.
No, he did not.
He didn't skip it.
This is all an act.
It's all a ploy.
I figured,
all an act.
I just wanted to bring it out there because it says that he did not go in because of Skip Bayless.
No, he's a fake motherfucker.
I know that. That whole show's fake.
That whole show is scripted.
It's my turn. It's my fucking shut up, man.
White and old.
Yeah, like. I know.
So Skip Bayless, we all know Skip Bayless has become one of the more insufferable talking heads on television over the last 10 years.
I don't ever defend Skip Bayless.
Never.
Ever.
Skip
this might be the time that I do.
The guy, he's a genius because he's parlayed this just asshole character that he's built into, like, I think he gets paid like $7 or $12 million a year.
15.
15 million a year.
Just sit there and be an
and
asshole.
Stephen A. Smith banged the table until he got 18.
Yeah, Stephen A. Smith was and like Stephen A. Smith talking about how I don't make a lot of money, but even though he's the highest paid guy on TV, we played that
makes
clip.
more than starting quarterback.
We played that clip a couple of months ago on the show.
Right.
But no, Skip put out this tweet. All right, and this was right as it happened. He said, no doubt the NFL is considering postponing the rest of this game, but how? This late in the season, a game of this magnitude is crucial to the regular season outcome, which suddenly seems so irrelevant. Okay, read that again. All right, on your own, read it again. Especially the last part of it, where it says, which suddenly seems so irrelevant. First of all, what in that tweet is a lie? Like find me the part of that tweet that says that's stupid, that's not Bart Scott saying you shouldn't be able to lower your head. That's a legitimate question. That's a legitimate concern. What is the NFL going to do? What did we just talk about? This is an unprecedented event in the NFL.
Right.
How is the NFL going to handle this? Now, the people who are out here bashing Skip Bayless, I mean, just go fuck yourself. Honestly, first of all, go fuck yourself for your ignorance. And second of all, go fuck yourself for making me fucking defend Skip Bayless.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, that too.
Go to your point.
All right, so obviously any rational fucking person can read that tweet. And if you understand football, you watch football, you love football, you knew the magnitude of this fucking game and what it means for the playoff race, which suddenly seems a secondary or so irrelevant. Clearly, he's just stating like, holy fuck, something massive just happened to put this scale
which
of
I am
game
acknowledging
on the back burner, which
Yes.
is exactly like how.
This is the biggest regular season game of the year.
This is what happens
For the
when
AFC.
people don't do well in English and they can't understand fucking what they're reading. This is a lack of education, and this is on
No,
the Biden
and
administration.
Wait! I'm glad you both are so firmly against this tweet and defending him, because now I'm gonna take the side of the person who I was last night, who is just sick and fucking tired of seeing Skip Bayless tweets. And this is just another example of him playing his character, and it's too goddamn much.
Again,
Wait, let me
I
get to my
understand
point.
that.
At what point in history has the entire internet, social media come together and be like, we're all in agreement on this stance? Like, this is fucking crazy right now. Like, this guy could be dead. We're watching this in real time. Everyone's in agreement.
Right.
Hunter Biden is
Not
not
even-
doing coke for 5 minutes.
Not even
Fucking Mitch
on-
McConnell is not being a pedophile. People are being
If
normal.
social media was around on September 12th, 2001,
I know, agreed.
we wouldn't have been in
Right.
there would have
So
been
what you're
dissenters.
saying
Wait.
is Skip Bayless in a sea of a million moles just decides to poke his fucking head up.
and that's
you know what I'm
and that's
saying?
and
Like,
that's the reason. Because if you go read all the NFL players that tweeted at him immediately after that,
Yeah.
every single person was like, "Dude, you always gotta fucking do this. Can you just shut the fuck up for 5 minutes and not play this character?"
right, like can you come off character for
They
2
know.
seconds and like
Darrell
be like a
Revis.
human?
Darrell Revis knows it. Like Darrell Revis, I'm sick of that dude because he scammed everybody out of the money for the last 5 years
Revis
of his career.
Island. Fuck
But
you.
he's like, Skip, when are you not this guy? He's like, stop being the character. And then you had a plethora of other players to be like, dude, like seriously?
Did LeBron James tweet at him, "You're next"?
No, yeah.
Oh, okay. Just wondering.
As long as you didn't do that.
So
yeah.
it's not. I'm not defending Skip Bayless. I understand that the tweet is overblown. It was in a sea of people just being like, they just want more information. They just want to see what happens next. We're at 9 minutes in of like, is he dead? Is he alive? Is he coming off the field? We're all waiting at this moment. It's a cliffhanger of all these people. Like I just gave Hunter Biden not doing cocaine for 5 minutes.
Right.
All these people coming together to just find out information. Skip Bayless is like, what about the NFL? It's like, get the fuck out of here, old man.
Right, but
That's the problem.
But the thing is he's not wrong.
Right.
Just
No, he's
and I-
not.
Like you said, why can't you ask questions?
Why couldn't he wait
why
half an
is-
hour?
Why-
What difference does it make?
What does it matter?
Because we're all
how
clamoring
long?
for information at that point.
What,
of like,
but
You're
what
not
difference does it
gonna
make?
get any at that point. So why
Well,
not
you
ask
could.
the question that everybody
What is
secretly
Skip?
wants
What
to
is Skip
fucking
Bayless's
know?
job?
But if-
What is Skip Bayless's job?
ratings, 100%.
To create content and
100%.
get ratings.
And cover his fucking sport.
And cover his sport and cover sports. What is he doing? He's covering sports. This is an unprecedented event. Did anybody sit there and chastise Katie Couric on 9/11 when she was like, the second plane at the tower, and she was like, "Do you think there's something wrong with air traffic control?" Like, yeah, on this crystal clear day, you don't think the guy flying the fucking 747 can't see the Twin Towers? Like, Jesus fucking Christ, Katie.
Pretty hard target to hit unless you're fucking aiming for
Like,
it right.
what do you think?
Crazy.
What do you think is happening right now? But my point is with Skip is like, this is a real question, and he framed it in a way where this is all very real. Like whether you want to admit it, I don't know what I didn't realize there was a time frame that like you're supposed to wait to be able to say something
But I guarantee-
about a topic. You know
I,
what I mean? Like,
Right,
I guarantee if we look at other people out there, if we search like whatever, like NFL question mark, whatever. I don't know what the exactly search. There will be other people saying like, man, I wonder what the implications for the NFL. I guarantee because it's Skip Bayless because he's a troll.
Right, but you want to know
That
what my
makes
question
it
is like 99.99 fucking million zeros after that percent of the time, I see memes of anybody who dies, tragic incident, passes away, does something which he hasn't yet got, you know what I mean? Oh, too soon? Too soon to make this joke? Too soon? Now all of a sudden it's not fucking cool to ask the questions that nobody wants?
Because he's
because
he's famous.
You're allowed to make jokes about it that are too soon, but you're not allowed to ask real questions like, "Hey,
But
how
the
is
show stops? The
how
playoffs
is-
are done. We're gonna cancel the season."
right?" Like,
No,
no.
we're
Listen,
gonna fucking play.
this is a multi-billion-dollar a year juggernaut of a business.
Mm-hmm.
Whether
If Adam Schefter makes that tweet, is it a big deal?
no.
Exactly.
No, I don't.
It's
no.
because it's Skip
Oh,
Bayless.
I know. Trust me, I'm
Yeah,
not.
no, that's a fair point.
I'm not. I don't have any
Very fair
illusions
point.
over who tweeted it and why it got the
What
reaction
if
it did.
Stephen A. tweeted that?
Gone. They'd be like, get
No,
his ass out of
No,
here.
he's fine. No, he's black. He'd be fine.
He's fine. That's
He's
not
fine.
what my point was, but I'm just
He works for
wondering,
ESPN. Yeah,
like-
Yeah, he's a black
like,
guy working for
who-
ESPN. He's fine.
Who could have tweeted that and been fine, and who could have not is, I guess, irrelevant. But the fact is that I think people are jumping down Skip's throat for literally, like we said today, it's none of your business whether I'm vaccinated or not. Who the fuck are you to ask me why I have a fucking mask on? You know what I mean? When it's okay to ask about your health, but like, I forget the fucking question, the
HIPAA.
topic. No, me and Joe having a conversation
No,
today.
what
and
we
there
were
was
saying-
a very real point about like now it's okay to ask
Well,
people's business
we were
about,
because we questioned because one of the first things that popped into my head was this kid vaccinated, and is this because we've seen an uptick in athletes, young,
Right,
healthy, professional athletes dropping dead across the world due to died suddenly,
Right.
and which has become code for. We don't know why the fuck he died. He just went into cardiac arrest for no apparent reason.
Right.
And they
You
all
question the
they all
vaccine.
and they all happen to be vaccinated. Now, I'm not saying that this was caused by the vaccine. I don't know. In fact, I hope it's not caused by the vaccine because I am vaccinated.
Yeah, me too.
And however, if this was caused by a COVID vaccine, I would like to know that because that way I could know if I am at risk for this. Since I was forced to get it against my will,
pretty much.
and I would like to know if I am going to be at risk of some of these similar things. Now, obviously, I'm a little older. I'm not a professional athlete.
Right.
I am probably at a higher risk anyway for a heart condition or something along those lines, or heart.
Not at you. Just what Graham put in the chat. God damn.
But I don't. But you ask about, well, was he vaccinated? And everybody's like, oh, how dare you ask that? And it's like, okay, it's cool to ask. It's not cool to ask if an athlete who died suddenly, and this kid's not dead again, but was vaccinated. It's not cool to do that, but it's cool to ask me if I'm vaccinated if you want me to sit down at a table in a restaurant, or if I'm going to enter your business or your place, a certain place, or if I'm going to go on a cruise and I have to prove to you that I got the jab. Like, that's okay, but not when you die. Like,
Right.
so it doesn't really make a lot of sense. And again, it's it's a question that needs to be asked. This is something that's been slowly but surely gaining traction within, through the media. People died suddenly, young, healthy athletes. Yeah, sure, I'll take another one. And they're dropping dead, and we're trying to figure out why. What happened to them that made them go down that path, or made them end up on their deathbed because of this? Like, it's a perfectly legitimate question.
it's a legit question.
It's a legit question. Again, to the timing of it, though, the Skip Bayless thing, it's not an erroneous question.
No.
There is a very, very real impact. I'm talking billions of dollars worth of impact
100% correct.
that hang on what the NFL does based
Yes.
on this situation
100%.
from a competitive balance standpoint.
Yes, and also hundreds of millions of dollars either off the table or on the books or off the books, gambling wise. Yeah, you saw Graham.
That's right. That's right, Graham's.
Hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars, gambling wise, whether on the books or off the books as well, for the implications as well. It's not the message; it's the person who sent it and the validity of which they sent it. That's my opinion. My opinion was, if this, like you said, if this was Adam Schefter, Nobody bats an eye. Ian Rappaport. Nobody bats an eye. Nah, maybe not Ian.
Rappaport would have got some shit.
Yeah, Rappaport would have got shit.
Football outsider Ian Rappaport.
If it was Skip Bayless, 100% shit. Barstool, El Presidente, 100% shit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the character of which the person is tweeting.
Imagine if Elon Musk tweeted it.
They would probably fight. They would probably be like, we have to kill everybody on Twitter now.
They're like, you know what? Just somebody fucking launch a nuke.
I'm surprised Elon didn't tweet out, if he dies, he dies, to be honest with you, because he's a psycho.
He's on quite the bender on Twitter, and I love it. I didn't realize that Elon was going to be the one doing God's work in my lifetime, as much as he has. But here we are.
Again, not
Here
to
we
go off
are.
topic, but brilliant person. Like I don't understand how people hate this man so much. He's like, "Do you want me to step down as president of Twitter?" And everyone said yes, and he goes, "Okay, I'll resign." He goes, "I'm putting the position up," and he goes, "As soon as somebody takes it, I'll resign."
Nobody takes it.
Nobody wants it yet.
Nope. And here's the thing with Elon too, right? To sidebar this real fast. The only reason why people are mad at Elon is because Twitter is no longer Reddit 2.0. Because if you ever go on Reddit, if you ever try to say anything remotely like
What was that other one?
based 4chan?
No. Oh God, 4chan.
4chan's
Holy
the
shit.
goat.
No, the Tumblr.
Tumblr.
Yeah.
But if you go on Reddit, I mean, anything that is anywhere right of like Karl Marx is you're considered a fucking
Nazi.
bigot, Nazi, like whatever. Like Reddit is like the epitome of hive mind, like just idiots on the internet.
Didn't the original Reddit creator kill himself?
Hopefully.
No, I think he did. Like years ago too.
I wish he'd done it before he created Reddit. But
Christ. What it became was not his intent.
no, it didn't. It's ballooned into something way, way beyond that. But that's what Twitter had become too. Twitter was just basically an extension of Reddit, and Facebook is now too. And it's just this hive mind of like, if you don't agree with us, anything that you say that I don't agree with is hate speech, and we're gonna ban you for it.
If again another person, if Andrew Tate tweets out, "What about the ramifications of the game?"
Yo,
Dead.
free the top G.
They banned
free
him.
the top G. He's got a Bugatti.
He's got 32 of them. That whole situation again, insane. He guy was found with pizza boxes.
I think that's all a shtick. I think this is all just a big fucking ruse.
They don't have anything on him. That's what they said.
No, they don't. No,
Did you watch the video of his
they're
compound getting raided?
Yeah, they're detaining him, but
Yeah,
that's
there was
it.
like nothing there.
There's nothing there, but again, I think that's all a big setup. I think this is all for publicity and keeping his name out there. I mean, he went at Greta Thunberg, that fucking
What did
weirdo
Elon
little fucking rich girl who got to skip work.
What did Elon tweet out? Elon's like, sometimes you should just make DiGiorno at home.
Yeah, something like
That
that.
was pretty funny.
There was a lot of good memes that came out of the Andrew Tate thing.
That might be pretty fucking strong.
Just the way I like it.
So yeah, Skip Bayless, you cucked your own self.
Yes, but he did it to himself, and again, it's not because Skip's wrong, because everything he's saying is absolutely right. I mean, when we look at this from a competitive balance standpoint, think about who the biggest beneficiary is.
There are people in this room who depend on that game.
Right, and that's going to bring me to my next topic, which is the fantasy football conundrum that I'm in.
You're in.
Yeah, well, as the commissioner of the league,
Oh yeah.
I've got some decisions to make, and I'd like to poll Sean and our audience as to what we think is going to happen.
No, I win.
But look at this from a competitive balance standpoint. Who stands to gain the most if this Bengals-Bills game is just canceled and they're just going to play 16 games this year and that's it? Who gains the most?
The Patriots.
Close, but no. Who
I
gains the
thought
most?
that you were gonna say.
Who's the biggest beneficiary of this game not being played and just ending in where neither team gets a win or a loss? They're
Gamblers?
They're going to get 16 games.
Gamblers.
No,
Bookies.
the Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh yeah.
Because even if the Bills win next Sunday, they're still going to be a half game short of the Chiefs in the AFC for the number 1 seed. So the Chiefs are going to get the 1 seed based on that if this game is not played.
Oh, okay. So who is it? Is it Vic Carucci, who's the Bills insider, who has like so
Vic
many?
Carucci was a old Broncos insider, but he might be a Bills.
I think
guy
he's a
now.
Bills insider, and his thought is that the Bills, if they're told that they have to play the Patriots this Sunday, they'll likely say, "Hey, we're going to forfeit the Bengals game, regardless of what the NFL says." They'll take a loss, and then he thinks the Bills players will basically sit out the Patriots game and take 2 weeks off and regroup for the playoffs. That's what he thinks.
Probably. I mean, that would make. I could see that happening, especially. But again, it depends on what happens with Hamlin.
Well,
if Hamlin survives and he's good, these guys might be motivated as fuck to come out and play the Patriots this weekend.
Let's give you a Hamlin update. This is from his nephew. I'm sorry, not his nephew. His uncle. He's the nephew.
His breathing is improved.
50%.
He's off 100% oxygen down to 50% oxygen. Which
is good.
It's not bad.
Improvements are good.
It's not bad, but again, we don't know what kind of state he's going to be in when he comes out of this.
Right.
If he comes out of this,
Well,
we still don't know.
yeah.
He's still on assisted breathing. He's breathing on his own, which is always a good sign. But then again, we don't know how long that's going to last, if there's going to be further complications down the road.
Why did they have a moment of silence tonight for him? He's not dead. That's fucking wrong.
Because
I'm sorry. That's fucked up.
Because this is the society we live in, Sean. Everybody that I've talked to or listened to today on the radio, on TV, not everybody, but most people, they're making this all about themselves. Like they're taking this kid almost dying on the field, and they're like, "Oh my God, this is so traumatizing for me." Yeah, they're like, "How could you look? How could you look? How could you look at his family and the situation and not be traumatized?" It's like, easily.
Because oh, you know what? Never mind.
Because
you
what?
Deserve
Like 30 something thousand people a day die from heart attacks. Like, I don't want to sound insensitive, but like Turtle Boy, Aiden, when he posted on Twitter, he was like, if a guy who's serving beer has a heart attack walking up the stairs in the stands and dies on the concourse, does the game get canceled? Does anybody care? Do we even know it happened? No, of course not. And I'm not trying to equate the two. Like the guy selling beer obviously is not in your face like the guy on the field is.
Right.
But at the end of the day, they're two human beings.
Just as equally as important.
They're two human lives, and they do hold some sort of weight, right? Like,
of course.
So I don't want to go that far with it, but at the same time, like, yo, why are you like everybody's like writing this guy's eulogy right now? It's like, yo, he's not dead yet. Like the kid's got a fighting chance.
Right.
Let's wait and see. But it's almost like people,
it's the sensationalism.
They want him to die because they need something to make, like, oh my God.
That would be the most pathetic.
I am
shit
so
I've ever
traumatized by this. How can anyone watch football? And they need something to crusade against or for. And they just it's so fucking nauseating to watch people and listen and go through social media. People like are beyond pissed off because they didn't cancel the game fast enough. It's like, no, they canceled the game as quickly as they could.
Right.
Once they figured out what was going on, the game was suspended. Took 23 minutes. Well, why didn't we know until 10:02?
Because fuck
what
you.
What did you want? Roger Goodell to fucking personally call you?
Yeah,
and
get out
tell
of bed,
you?
bitch.
Yeah, you know why you didn't know earlier? Because fuck you. That's
you were
why.
fucking sleeping anyway.
You're not important.
You're right. Exactly. You're not important.
I want to know. Actually, that's a good point. Why didn't Roger Goodell make a statement himself as commissioner?
Because I don't think
lazy bitch.
Because right, exactly. Like what an asshole, right?
He is an asshole.
I mean, he is.
He probably was texting.
But if you want
5 minutes,
if you want to make Roger Goodell out to be a fucking asshole, like this is like probably like number 400 on the list of things I could make him out to be an asshole for.
It's a long list of shit.
But it's nauseating. Social media has become the absolute cancer of society. Everybody who shouldn't have an opinion is now allowed to have one. The problem is that we as adults in the room have to do a better job of just tuning them out.
Bill Burr had a great comedy sketch about social media, and I'm not going to do the whole sketch, but essentially he says, as you're saying, everyone has a voice now. Everyone gets an opinion. Everyone's opinion is heard equally. He goes, that's essentially going back to grade school, and you have that one kid in the class who goes, what about homework for the weekend? You forgot to give it to us.
Shut the fuck up,
That
kid.
person is now king on social media. They're verified. They have 4,000 followers.
Yeah,
exactly.
400,000, 4 million, whatever.
Right. I mean, look at it. It's crazy to think how far we've fallen in just such a short period of time. I mean, I knew as soon as Facebook became a thing, I was like, this is it. This is the end as we know it. This is going to be the downfall of society. And it's only getting worse.
Yep.
But like they say, it gets worse before it gets worse, boys.
Yeah.
774-992-8702. That's the phone number. So now we've gotten our piece said about the Damar Hamlin thing. Look, we want the kid to pull through. we are not one of these sensationalist shows that hope he dies so that we have something to talk about tomorrow and we can sit here and
Right,
wax
not
poetic about all of his charities and what a great guy he was.
God, no, please. I knew this kid before anybody else, fucking being a college nerd.
Right, exactly. Like, I knew his name. I didn't know who he was outside of the stat sheet, to be quite honest.
I mean, he was a pretty good safety. I didn't think he was going to get drafted
Right.
as high as he did.
What I'm saying is I didn't know him when he became a pro. I didn't know anything about the kid until, outside of just his numbers. Like, plays well.
Yeah,
Okay.
good defense.
He's a good
all
defensive
around.
player for the
Right.
Buffalo Bills. That's
Yeah,
all
yeah.
I knew about
He's
him.
out there with Poyer and what's his face?
So- Now this brings me to the next question, and it kind of piggybacks off the Skip Bayless tweet. So my league that I run, you two are in it.
Yep.
All right. It's a 10-man league. Paul is in the championship round. Okay.
I'm in it for the chip, not the ship. The chip.
Just call it a title, you
No,
guys.
it's a chip.
I don't like chips and ships.
I like chips because it's like gambling. That's what we do. You get the chip.
There it is. There's
Get the chip,
there's
dog.
Old Glory.
Let's see. Will my name be on this trophy right after yours?
Yeah. Well, no, we didn't update last
How many
year.
times is Shadis on there? Count.
3?
Is he a 3-time winner?
I think
1,
so.
2.
Just
Just
two?
two.
Okay, good.
To be fair, I'm going to give you my honest
Because
opinion.
I'm a 3-time champion.
I'm going to be unbiased.
I
First
think
of all,
Sean's a 3-time
He's
champion.
back to
not
back.
me.
Though.
Not me.
No, Vieira, Sean Vieira.
Oh, yeah, Sean Vieira for sure.
Shadis is back to back.
Listen,
on that.
yeah, that's pretty
Yeah.
impressive. I honestly should be in the finals this year if my team all didn't shit the bed. But
Hey,
hey,
fuck you! Your defense scored 30 points. Thank God I was up by 33. Fuck. Shit, man.
but hey, listen, I'm a stat nerd, but I
18
lose humbly. But at the same time, as someone who's in a championship in another league, and I needed Jamar Chase to just basically get a
All right,
decent
well, hold
amount
on.
of
I haven't got
points.
to that part yet.
All right.
Okay.
I haven't got to that part. So
Finish up because I got a
In-
great
in this
analogy for
in
you.
our league, so Paul was up 37 points going into Monday Night Football.
Facts.
All right, his team did not play well on Sunday.
No.
He needed. I projected. I think you need 60 to 70 points going into Monday Night Football
Just was not happening.
to have a chance.
Yeah.
80 would be like, okay, you're probably good.
Gilbert Wilson, Michael Carter.
Anything
and fucking-
anything other than that, anything less than that,
Do
I'm like.
well.
And the reason why I said that was because his opponent had Josh Allen, Jamar Chase, and Buffalo's defense. Now,
Big time shit.
you're talking about a big-time Monday night game.
I missed a bullet off the head with fucking Justin Jefferson only having one catch for 15 yards.
Jair Alexander was just like, sit him down.
I'm like, oh my God. I'm
Dude.
like, how does Justin But at the same time, I had Kirk Cousins. So
Because
I'm
Kirk-
why
fucked
do
on
I-
the
because it was a
other
4
end.
o'clock game.
But why do I like Jair Alexander and hate Jalen Ramsey? Jair Alexander, after every play, does like the gritty and he's like dancing, doing all this stupid, and I laugh.
I
but
did
Jalen
too.
Ramsey's like, "Yo, dog, we're gonna go to the chip," and I'm like, I want this dude to get shot.
Justin
and have a
Jefferson
cannon.
straight up shut down his social media.
Yes,
He was
Deactivated
not
it after that game.
yes. It was
What a
that
crybaby.
bad.
We'll
That's
get it.
some
We'll
crybaby
get it.
shit.
We'll get into
But
that in
yeah,
a second.
keep going.
So Paul is up 37 points, and he's and his opponent has Josh Allen, Jamar Chase, and the Buffalo defense. Now the way scoring works in our league, Josh Allen probably could have covered that gap himself.
37, probably himself.
You're-
At least
you're-
25 of it to 30.
Now, here's the pickle that I'm in as a commissioner. Let's say this game is not played. It's postponed right now. Paul
Yep.
has been declared by Yahoo the winner
Yep.
and the champion of the league. And
Yep.
I'd like to hear some people's opinions on this because I don't know what. And Sean, this is the first time you're hearing this too. My thinking, my train of thought in this, in just all out fairness as a commissioner. Now, this doesn't, just so everybody knows, this is not one of those leagues where everybody gets to vote on things. I don't put things up. I'll float ideas out to people. I'll hear their opinions, and then I will take them and I will process them. But this is not like a thing where you get to vote and everybody gets an equal say. No, this is my league. I call the shots. I make the rules.
Been that way for 20 years.
It's been that way for almost 20 years, and I do it in the effort of absolute fairness. Now, Sean, this is my proposal. Should this game not be played and Paul does end up holding on to that lead that we all know that he probably would have lost had the game played out. Now, I know the game was going very well for you in the first quarter.
It was.
T. Higgins was killing it. Jamar Chase is nowhere to be found. Buffalo wasn't really moving the ball too much. You know, their defense was
Josh
giving
Allen
up.
was running it most of the
Paul
time.
went from like a 12% chance to win at
To
kickoff to like
35.
39
35.
when the game was suspended. So it's like, okay, there was definitely a glimmer of hope there that Paul could have potentially held on to win. Sean, what do you? This is my proposal for what we do here.
Go ahead.
All right, now this is assuming the game doesn't get played. If the game gets played, it is what it is.
Fuck.
Well, but who knows if Josh Allen even plays, if Jamar Chase even plays? Like,
Yeah.
you know, the coaching decisions could come down. They could just say, like, nah, we're not going to play our guys. Like, we're just going to take this as
Buffalo's defense
we're gonna
has
treat this
forced
as
pick sixes.
we're
Oh
gonna
my
we're gonna
God.
treat this as an exhibition game and just say fuck it. Like,
Right.
my assumption is that this game will not be played and that the game will end as it is right now. My proposal is we split the pot 50-50 between the two of them because we know in all likelihood Paul probably would have coughed up that lead. I get it, but in the effort of fairness, this is something that, again, is unprecedented, was never we never foresaw, and we couldn't possibly have seen coming. I say we split the pot 50-50, but Paul's name still goes on the trophy as the champion.
Okay, I didn't think you were going to go that route, but my honest opinion is that's actually not a bad idea because that's not going to happen with me in my other league. I'm in the championship in the other league, and I only needed Jamar Chase to get 15 points, which is very easy.
Probably
A
would have
touchdown and 70
Probably
yards.
would have happened in the third quarter.
Exactly.
Right.
So I am likely just going to lose flat out. Now, as someone who, I don't care if I come in 4th or 5th or 7th place in this league now because I'm fucking out of it. If you're not first, you're last. I don't give a shit.
Facts.
And the biggest thing to me is if this game is played after week 18, after next week, first of all, that's bullshit. If they say, okay, these players, their points will be made for the next game, no, that's bullshit. It has to be on that game. The specific time.
Well, that's kind of where I'm at too. Like,
Do
even
NASCAR
that changes
races
everything.
end under caution?
Yes.
Do NASCAR races end under caution? Yes, they do.
Yeah.
But I think that's
This is
totally
an under
fair.
caution. This is an under caution situation.
So I think that's completely fair. I think.
I like Paul lobbying for his own name.
Well,
to
of
go
course
on the
he's
trophy.
lobbying
I
his
know.
own
Fuck yeah, I won, motherfucker.
to be fair, if Josh Allen, Jamar Chase, and the Buffalo Bills defense got injured, hypothetically, Paul won.
Yeah, but the entire defense just gets replaced with people who can play defense.
I am joking.
I know.
Right, but let's just say hypothetically they don't do anything. Like they're all just third string scrubs and they're just out there like making tackles.
And they give up a shit ton of points, and they,
Right.
and they have
The Bengals
negative
got,
5
like,
points.
45 to 30.
My thing is
Yeah,
this:
negative 5
and
points.
at what point am I going to have to override Yahoo? And I think that will be where it'll get unpopular. Because if this game, like you said, if this game is going to be played like after week 18 or there's going to be some sort of makeup game, like I don't think I'm going to allow that.
No, that's
count-
honest to God
I think
bullshit.
that-
Because
giving away-
quite frankly, the way I look at it is this, right? Nobody could have foreseen what was going to happen last night.
Nope.
But there are a lot of elements that come into play when you get to a fantasy football championship.
And that was my point
And
earlier.
there is a significant margin of luck that people incur
or forget about.
or forget that favored them
exists.
when they win their championships.
Massive amounts of luck.
Now, I don't want to say Paul was fortunate that DeMar Hamlin had a heart attack on the field.
I'm not going that route. Nope.
That sounds shitty as fuck. But the fact that the game was postponed and subsequently canceled potentially, I wouldn't even be holding that up smiling if I don't know.
I want it because I want it. I'm not saying like I win. I just want my fight. It's been 18 fucking years. I made the playoffs probably like 5 times, and I'm one and done. God damn it, I fucking hate
I know
it.
this is the first time Paul ever
Remember
won
I
a
used to
playoff
bitch
game.
at Sean? Not this Sean. I used to bitch about Sean Vieira. Oh, yeah, he thinks he's so fucking good. He knows so much about football. I used to get so fucking pissed off because I'm like, it's luck. It's luck. But he knows a lot, and his teams do well. So is it? And I'm like, fuck this shit.
I mean, don't get me wrong. You can definitely help your own luck in fantasy football, but I think we, regardless of what the NFL does, and I'll make this decision in the next couple days to seeing what the NFL is going to do about this game, because I don't want my fantasy I don't want the championship decided on some like pseudo exhibition game on a Thursday night next week.
Yeah, dude.
You know what I mean?
The
Like
game was legit until it ended, and they put and
the game ended. The game ended on the night it was scheduled to be played. Whether
with the people who were on the field were supposed to be there, not like you said.
which is
some
why I
third-string
think the 50-50 split for the money.
Which is fine. I don't give a fuck about the money. I'm giving it back to you.
But I
anyway.
think Paul's name should go on the trophy. I called Shadis.
I don't want this shit out of sympathy, though.
I called. No. It's not about.
Oh, it's Symphony.
No, fuck you. It's not, you asshole. It is
wait,
not fucking
wait,
sympathy.
Go to the messages. Go to the messages.
You realize when we get to the draft next year
Oh, I'm gonna
that
shit
no
on
one
shit.
is gonna. Paul is gonna be like, they're gonna be like asterisks,
I
asterisks.
swear to God, if you get that trophy printed with a fucking asterisk, I'm gonna fucking burn it.
DeMar might not make it, Paul.
Wow, that's fucked. Don't delete that shit.
No,
man.
that's not going on the show. That's just for us. That will be
No,
on
fuck
that will
I
be
swear to God, if
that
this-
will be on a poster at the draft next year though. If
If
Paul's
there's a
name's on
fucking
the trophy,
asterisk next to my name, I'll tell you what. If Shadi starts talking
it won't be
shit,
it won't be on the trophy. I won't put an asterisk on the trophy.
I will call my fiance and apologize, but I am unzipping my pants and I am shoving my phallus deep down fucking Shadice's throat in real time on the picnic table on the patio in front of the fucking draft board.
You can fit at least 3 asterisks on there after your
Fuck
name.
you. There's no asterisks. It's a real time thing.
But that's
It
kind of where I'm at with
That's
it too.
my
Like
point. Was this is not like a simulation.
This
is
happens.
real life.
Yeah.
This outplayed organically in the
it
game
literally
of
took
football.
a guy almost dying on the field for Paul to win a fantasy football championship,
Fuck it.
but he still won.
Fuck it. I won.
And even when
fucking won.
when I proposed this to my wife, and she doesn't really like know how
Know or care.
No, she has no horse in this race whatsoever. She was like, "But Paul won," and I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "Why would you split the money then? He won."
I said that. I was like, nah, fuck.
And no, she said you weren't even here. You weren't even here yet.
I know, but
this
I
was
was talking on
earlier
the phone. I was
because
like-
I was bouncing it off her because my wife's very, very, very intelligent. She's very
Logical,
smart.
very logical
And she's
person.
right. She's very pragmatic, and she applies logic in everyday
Put her
activities.
feet in other shoes.
Yeah, and I said to her, I said, "Look, this is the situation. Here's what's happening." And she goes, "Did Paul win?" And I said, "Well, yeah, technically he won, but
I
like,"
had more points when it ended.
she goes, "Sounds like you won to me. Why would you split it?"
That's that. Honest to God, imagine if that game ended by fucking tornado. Let's not say a
I
player
was
died.
just fucking thinking.
Imagine
that.
if it-
You're freaking me out right now. I thought of a natural disaster while a game played, and you literally can't replay it.
And,
It is.
and Paul
it
and
ends.
Paul is like, all right. Bane walks out in the field and blows up half the stadium. He's like, that's game.
That's game, baby. Too easy.
I mean, but and again, it's the same thing. Like, what if Jamar Chase and Josh Allen got hurt on the opening drives?
Right.
Yes,
What
I
if they
know.
both got concussed?
There is always that element of fuck when it comes to fantasy football. Like, you just don't know.
Look at me.
I mean,
I
how
ran
many
the gauntlet the whole
How
year.
many? Like, remember the year I had the entire 2013 Broncos offense on my team in,
Yeah,
in
you
Phillies
fucked up.
league, and they played San Diego on a Thursday night, and Peyton Manning throws
That
2
was it.
touchdowns to everybody except who I had on my team, and I'm like, well,
And
that's
that's
it.
game.
I'm one and done. That's
Yep,
it. Like,
that's-
highest scoring team in the league, fucking like 2 losses the whole year, and I'm like, yeah, I'm Gucci, baby. I got Peyton Manning, Demaryius Thomas, Orange Julius. I'm rolling, and it's just, whoops.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oops.
I literally lost the game to Paul, and it was just like Diggs 1 catch, Adam Thielen 1 catch, DK Metcalf 3 catches for 15 yards. I was like, damn.
Patriots defense 30 points, and I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, kiss my ass, motherfucker.
Hey, but I'm
like,
listen.
It
don't-
never
don't
fails
hate
though.
me.
Whenever like I'm gonna start betting. Whenever you two play each other in fantasy, I am gonna start betting heavily on like the Patriots to score a defensive touchdown.
Hell yeah.
Because for whatever reason, whenever
Hell
you
yeah.
play him in fantasy and you have the Patriots
I
defense,
lost to you
they
earlier in
always
the
they
year.
score every time. It
I
never
lost
fails.
to you
For like the
earlier
last
in
like
the
6
year.
years.
And when we go to your drafts and people are like, "Oh, Sean's a homer," I'm like, "No, they mathematically score a ton of fucking points every year." I'm like,
I
why
couldn't
don't people
believe it.
understand this?
I don't
remember
know.
I was texting you, and I'm like, this is the second time.
I
the
know.
Patriots have gone buck fucking wild when I'm playing Sean. Why? And I'm literally sitting there like, refresh.
It doesn't matter who I play either.
Fuck, that's a Matthew Judon. Fuck, he's got Judon and he's got the defense. Okay. that's double.
That's
That's a
what
double
I'm saying.
parlay.
Shit. I'm like, shit. I'm
gotta-
like, thank
by
God
the
what's
way,
his face got
remember-
hurt because I would have been fucked.
I know, I
Your
know.
running back, Richard. Ramondre.
Stevenson.
I know.
I'm like, holy fuck, he's
Another
out.
guy.
Yep.
And Lamar Jackson, another
Stevenson.
guy.
Yeah,
I'm
Ramondre
like,
Stevenson. If he hadn't gotten hurt, I wouldn't be in this. We would not be in this. Well, maybe we would. I don't know.
Well, because
you probably
Shadis,
wouldn't have
no,
started
because
like
Shadis,
a
Carter.
Shadis, listen, no matter how you spin it, Shadis still had Josh Allen, Jamar Chase, and Buffalo's defense going on Monday night.
Right.
So whether he played you or you, it wouldn't have mattered.
Right.
He was still going to be out those 3 guys.
Yeah.
And I called him earlier to run this by him to kind of give him.
Did you talk to him tonight?
I didn't. He didn't answer.
Fucking loser. Answer your phone, you Portuguese. You're working from home.
He's probably busy.
He might have
What's
been.
he fucking
I
cleaning his
did.
fish
I did.
tank?
I did call
He
him.
reminds me of the fucking pimp from Deuce Bigelow, Male Gigolo, with his sweet fish tank and shit in his house.
Does he have a
main
sweet fish
pimp?
He's
tank
got
now?
a banging fish tank. Yeah.
Yeah?
Saltwater?
It's small. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
He got a saltwater tank?
I think so.
Oh, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do a
Oh,
reef
Lion
tank.
fish and shit.
Fuck that. We ain't splitting the money. You're taking the whole
That's
fucking
what I'm
thing, man.
saying. Fuck him, bro. That
I
kid's
want a
paid,
reef
bro.
tank. What the fuck?
He's
I
paid.
wouldn't.
Well, he can clearly afford one. He doesn't need the fucking $200.
Yeah.
Fucking
With
rich
his fucking
motherfucker.
pimp pad out and fuck, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
disclose too much information, but don't worry. I
But-
don't care about the money. I don't care.
I know you don't. But
All
it's but the point is that I'm trying to do something and I'm trying to make this work. Again, this is unprecedented.
Yeah.
It's not just like it's not Shadice's fault. A kid had a heart attack on the field and got the game canceled.
It's not mine either.
It's not yours either. However, this is an unprecedented circumstance. This is like well outside of the scope of like what would like look, if Josh Allen tears an ACL and Jamar Chase blows out his Achilles,
It's the same thing.
hey, that shit happens.
It's the same thing.
But it wasn't one of them that got hurt. Like that's the thing I'm getting at. Like
right.
this was on such
the
a
game was ended not because the clock struck zero.
This is like, we jokingly say it all the time when you're like, oh, we're going into Monday Night Football and I'm up 37, but he's got Josh Allen, Jamar Chase, and Buffalo's defense. You're like, man, I hope a fucking meteor hits the stadium.
Yeah. Well,
And
this
then-
is a metaphorical meteor.
And
right
here's
here.
the right, exactly. And here's your meteor. And you're like, ooh, like I said that, but I didn't really mean it. But also, I'll take my win. Like, you know what I mean?
I'm
like,
gonna take my win.
listen, I'm gonna give it till the
Sorry, when
weekend.
Ryan Shazier and
Well,
Everett got
because
hurt,
I don't know what
still
the league's
watched
gonna
football
do, but
afterwards.
you have to wait till
I'm not trying
Thursday.
to be insensitive.
They're
but
gonna make a decision by Thursday. Is apparently what they said.
I don't think they're gonna play. I don't see how they can.
Well, then how the hell are the Patriots gonna play them? Are they gonna forfeit that game?
No,
too?
no, I don't see how they're gonna play Cincinnati. Buffalo Cincinnati to me is done. That game's over.
They can't replay it. They
I
have
don't-
other games to play.
Right, unless they push the whole season back a week. Can you imagine if I go to I'm buying my tickets for Daytona tonight, and all of a sudden the Super Bowl gets pushed back a week?
Nah.
No, because
if the
I
Super
know
Bowl gets pushed back
it-
a week, I'm flipping my shit.
they
and I'm banging out. Sorry, I don't
it
give a
won't
fuck.
because they have that week buffer now.
right.
in
They'll
between.
just play in between.
No,
the Pro
not
Bowl.
anymore.
It's
Yeah.
2 weeks. It's 2 weeks.
Yeah, but they're not gonna, what are they gonna play that exhibition game?
No,
right.
no, they would
right,
just
you got a potential number 1, 2, 3.
no, they would
seed
just be
playing
it'd
a
just be
week
like
before
it'd
the
be like
Super Bowl.
2001 when 9/11 happened and we had there was no
So
gap.
then everyone got a bye week, and then some
No, no,
team got a 2-week bye week.
Somebody's gonna get a bye week.
Casey.
Yeah, something's gonna happen. They can push everything back. But again, and this goes back to what Skip Bayless was saying. Do you push the whole playoffs back a week to accommodate one game?
Actually, that wouldn't be such a bad idea.
And in terms of, and think about it this way too. How well is that game actually going to be played? Like, what if, let's just say hypothetically, what if, and again, it really does hinge on whether or not what condition this kid comes out of this in. If he makes it and they say, okay, we're going to play the game, but we're going to do it, we're going to push everything back, we're going to play one game Sunday night. Buffalo, the game that should have been
Doubleheader, whatever.
no, it wouldn't even be a doubleheader. It'd just be
no.
that standalone game.
Oh, right.
And they're going to play that game.
I thought you meant next week or whatever.
Like, whose head's going to be in that? Like, oh, we're playing for the 1 seed. Okay, cool.
Cool.
Even though, yeah, you get the
Or-
1 seed, you might get a week off next week. That's
Right.
it.
You're
Like,
making us relive that traumatic experience that we just all witnessed on the
I just
field.
don't see
That's-
how this isn't baseball where you can just be like, oh, schedule a doubleheader. This isn't basketball where you can be like, we'll make it up on an off day in
Not the
February.
same at all.
It's not the same. It's just there's too much. This game cannot, in my opinion, cannot and should not be played.
massive momentum.
It should be
derailer.
just listen.
Tie.
completely.
No, they
derailed.
just it's
They were
as if
talking
it
about
never
a
happened.
coin toss. They were talking about coin toss, right?
They
You
could go the coin
in
toss
the
route.
Rule book, they could do coin toss.
There is in the
why
rule
would
book.
why, would
For
the,
who wins?
why would the Bengals do that?
Why? Because they don't have a choice. Because somebody almost died.
Humility? I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess you're right.
Let's get a win-loss.
Zach
here.
Taylor, say what you want about him.
Seems like a decent
Stand up
dude.
fucking guy.
Yeah, he seems
I
like a
wish he was.
decent dude.
I wish he was my coach. I'll put it that way.
Oh, you might get somebody.
If we get fucking Harbaugh, I swear
You're
to
gonna get
fucking
Harbaugh.
God.
Dude, I would love to see Joey's reaction in real time. What?
I don't know.
What the fuck happened? I somebody looking at their arms.
No, I would like to have Harbaugh.
No.
Just because we have Jeff
not
Saturday right now.
not me. Look.
Nah, bro. Ball.
All right, well, let's shift gears off of this. 774-992-8702. Sean, let's talk a little Patriots real quick because look,
Oh God.
you guys win and you're in, man. A win and you're in.
I know,
Aren't they already 7 seed?
Yeah, we are, but
but
if
they
we
got to win.
lose,
If they lose and
if the Jets beat the Dolphins, we're in. That's it.
right, but if the Dolphins
gotta
beat the Jets, which probably will.
The Jets probably will beat the Dolphins because now Tua's like brain dead. They said.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, and Teddy Two Gloves ain't gonna get it done.
I can't believe that. They made it seem like his hand was like destroyed by like a crushing metal mechanism, and he broke one finger.
Who?
Teddy Bridgewater.
Oh.
Because they said up the game, they said, "Oh, multiple fingers were broken on his hand." After the game, one finger was broken. I was like, the guy refused to come back in the game for one finger. I'm like, that's
that
bad.
pussy shit right there. Oh, you don't know what it's like to play football, man. Fuck you, bro. Come work my fucking job. Let me get paid millions of dollars.
So,
We'll switch places in a fucking heartbeat, dude.
So I said 2 weeks ago, I said before the Miami game, I said, I have a fear that since Tua's not going to play, the Patriots are going to beat the Dolphins. They did. That game never seemed close to me. I know the Patriots always shoot themselves in the foot. They beat the Dolphins. And then I said, okay, Buffalo, win or lose against the Bengals, is likely going to take that week off because they're not going to get the first seed. It's going to be Kansas City that gets the first seed, or it's going to be the Bengals. The Buffalo is going to be the odd man out, and they're going to have to play wild card weekend anyway. They might as well rest up that last week, put the backups in the end against the Patriots, and go full force likely against the Patriots again the following week. I still think that's going to happen, and now especially so if this Bills team, who's not even practicing today, and they're supposed to be practicing already, or at least back in the team, they don't even know what's going on.
No.
They're supposed to be ready to play on Sunday afternoon against the Patriots team, who's trying to get in. Like,
right.
it just seems like they're just not going to play.
I don't see the Bills. Look, I see the Bill. This situation's got to get resolved fast because the NFL needs to figure out because they got to tell the Bills what they need to do.
Yeah.
Like, and not to say that they need to tell the Bills what they need to do, but like the Bills need to know like what is expected of them, and if this is like, look, again, this is a rough situation for these guys. I mean, I've been on teams with teammates, and I've got guys still that I played. I mean, I played 1 year of college football, and I still got people that I talk to that I consider family that I played with, and it's there's a camaraderie there and a bond that you build with those people that is almost second to none. And I get that. And I'm not even saying that, like, I understand it on this level. You know what I mean? Like, this is an even deeper level because these guys spend way more time together than we did. Granted, we spent a lot of time together, but not as much as these guys do. This is what their job is. So I just can't help but feel that the Bills, man, this is going to go one of two ways.
Mm-hmm.
The Bills are either going to go in the tank or they're going to win the fucking Super Bowl.
I'm saying the former. I
tend to agree.
Just because the Bills were hitting a rough patch. Josh Allen has the yips, as they say. He's been throwing a lot of picks. He's been making some boneheaded decisions. Stephon Diggs has not been playing as well. By the way, shout out to Stephon Diggs off the field for being an immaculate human being. Him taking care of that kid after his father passed away, amazing story.
Wicked cool.
I
love seeing all the videos of that.
Him calling an Uber for himself to go to the hospital. Didn't want anybody to, like some ESPN reporter at the hospital was like, hey, can I talk to you for a minute? He's like, nah. He's like, I'm here to see my friend. And he just walked in the hospital, and he stood at the hospital, I guess, overnight by himself with that guy's family. Like, that shit means a lot as a person. Like, that's a great person. To me, anyway. I think
Diggs, always have.
I think he's a dick on the field sometimes. I just think that Buffalo, it's just bad timing for this to happen. I think they weren't playing as hot. I think this will kind of derail the team. I think you'll have some guys who will be like, how can I play through this?
You'll see a resurrection.
But
You're going to see him
too
surmount.
late? Is it too late?
Nah, it's not too late. You're
But
going
then
right into the playoffs
that
right
Bengals,
now.
that Bengals team is very good.
Doesn't
that
matter.
Chiefs
This
team is
the
very
fuel.
good.
When you see dudes come out and play for a homeboy that they fucking had brother to brother, shoulder to shoulder, side by side in the locker room the entire fucking year, something like this goes down, I would be very, very fucking careful of the fucking Buffalo Bills after this. I'm just saying, I would be extremely careful.
That I can see.
There's something called intangibles, and there's something called hot. And if there's anybody that has that shit
No
right
R,
now,
hot.
They got hot. The thing in the middle of your chest that pumps your
H-A-T.
blood. It's hot. They got hot.
H-A-H-T. Hot.
That's what they fucking have. They got hot. They got fucking.
One of their
what?
players doesn't.
Wow.
That's
I
fucking
couldn't help it.
soon.
All right. Well.
Go back to that picture of.
That's
Paul.
also what she said.
Yeah. No, but I'm serious. Like, they got hot. They got fucking. This is like a chemistry builder right now. I would say
I know what you're saying, and it's.
they're gonna go out and play their ass off for this fucking kid, and they're a very dangerous team to begin with.
They're a very dangerous team to begin with,
And then give them something to fucking play for, bro.
I don't think this isn't like, oh my God, like somebody got their knee blown out in the middle of a game, and or there was it wasn't like an Alex Smith or Joe Theismann. Like, this is much worse, and I don't know that this is gonna go the way that way. Not this year anyway. Because I think
Do you think it's too demoralizing?
Listen,
At this time, yes.
If this kid doesn't make it, and I pray to God he does.
Oh my God, yeah.
He's
I think
gonna-
all of us do.
Obviously,
gonna
I
be
know.
fine.
I don't. You don't need to say that. I don't have to qualify it. I don't have to say it. Like,
course.
of course, I hope the kid makes it. Like, there's no reason why I wouldn't
Right, I know
wouldn't
that.
want him to be
But he's
make
gonna.
100%
I'm just
recovery.
being positive.
I think he's going to make it. Like
gonna make
the so far, the reports I've heard from the hospital are all
positive.
positive, and they're
Right.
all trending in the right direction. That being said, I don't know if that the Bills are going to be able to rebound from this and turn this into a motivational tool this year. Next year, maybe.
Too late. Too much time's passed.
I don't think so, because you don't
It's
realize.
either but this is that time right now where you either make it, you make or you break. You have to turn this into a positive energy. You have to turn this into some fucking fire. You have to turn this into determination to come back and fucking get vengeance on your brother. Not
For him.
like it was anything. Well, get vengeance for your brother. Not that it was like a malicious attack or anything like that. But
No, I get what you're saying. You want to go
but
out and play
I'm
well
saying
for him.
This is a time for the team to come together as a whole and say, fuck this shit. Heads in the fucking, in the grinder. We're going down and we're fucking everybody up. No fucking holds bar. This is the Bills coming in with a highly fucking skilled team. And if they can come in and say, listen, we're not going to fucking lose fucking Hamlin in vain. We're not losing his ass in vain. We're coming back and we're fucking the Chiefs up. We're going to put fucking Mahomes' head through his ass. Because fuck Patrick Mahomes.
I mean, that part I agree with.
And maybe his fucking wife and shit. Yeah. One of Stephon takes her off to
Fuck his
fucking
wife.
Kittyland. I don't know. I'm just shitting on Mahomes because I don't fucking like him.
Hey,
But-
the family has been off social media a lot this year.
Good.
They have
yeah,
not
good.
been
yeah.
on social
Someone's
media
gonna go
at
bitch slap
all.
his brother, whatever the case
All
is.
that rumor was true.
I think that this might be the fuel.
I was
which
wondering
is
when
a
that-
shitty fuel, by the way.
Right, but again, I see what you're saying.
It's a shitty fuel.
I get your point.
What better way to what better way to flip it than to fucking just rape and pillage every motherfucker in UA now? You know what I mean?
I mean, that's what you want. That's if you're a Bills fan.
I hope
and,
so.
and again, this comes back to football, and this is bigger than football right now. But yeah, you want to turn that into this situation into
Anger.
that,
Anger.
and point it out at everybody else. But the thing is like, and this is just my
The Bills should hire Ray Lewis right now.
this is just.
Come in as a motivational speaker. I'm not even lying.
No, because I don't want to put his hands on his chest situation. That's bullshit.
When I had my heart attack, it was the third one of my career.
Yeah. I still played 6
I got down and I did 500 push-ups. Like, I'm just kidding. I love Ray
caught
Lewis.
that pick 6.
I
and
love Ray.
ran
Ray,
150.
Ray Lewis is still
I know.
he's still a god
I'm
among
not
men.
trying
to
to
me.
make light, but I am. 'cause
But
whatever.
I get what you're saying. But like, I just don't know that. How do you put it? Like, I don't know that this generation is equipped to do that. I don't know that this team is equipped to do that. Like, if this was 20 years ago, I'd say yeah. Like, but the other thing is too is there isn't this like us versus them mentality. Like, yeah, they're doing it for their brother, their battle buddy, their teammate. But at the same time, like that kind of you can only go. That only takes you so far.
Right.
And you want to do it for them, and you're going to go out there and do your best for that guy, but you're not going to be able to. That's not sustainable, especially when there is a chance that he might not be breathing in a matter of days. Now you've got services to go to, funerals. It's weighing heavy on your mind. You're not, you're watching film from week 6, and oh shit, there he is. And he ain't with you anymore. Now, yes, you're right. Some guys will turn that into motivation.
Turn into fire.
But I don't know that it's going to work out that way. I hope it does. I mean, honestly, at this point, I said I wanted Bills-Niners in the Super Bowl. That was my kind of like ideal Super Bowl matchup.
all Bills this year. That was my team.
I mean,
to me, it feels like it's going to be Niners, Kansas City.
I think we'll probably end up with that rematch now. I would love to see. I'd love to see Niners Bengals rematch.
How mad are you going to
the
be
Bengals
if you see the
winning.
Niners back in the Super Bowl and you're going to be like, God damn it?
And it's up against the Chiefs, and I know they're going to lose.
I'll take the Niners over the
Actually, it
Chiefs.
depends. Is Brock Purdy starting?
No, it's probably going to be Jimmy G at that point.
No.
I don't know how they can start Jimmy G at this point, dude.
Yeah. Brock Purdy's.
I don't. Honestly, why would you take Brock Purdy out?
Is he 4-0? No.
Yeah, 4-0.
4-0. 4-0.
It ain't nothing to do with him.
But he's not.
I'll tell you what, the fucking Raiders fucking
I don't know.
offense carved up the D the other day, bro.
Ca-
So you can't say he didn't put him in position.
Shanahan's like, oh, Christian
But we
McCaffrey,
always
Christian McCaffrey, you're always injured. Try this crack cocaine. He sprinkles it over his body. He's all of a sudden he's never hurt anymore.
in the end zone, corner.
I mean, look,
Yeah.
again, Kyle Shanahan, a guy that should be the Denver Broncos head
I know,
coach.
jealousy.
Yeah.
Fucking Joe
But
Ellis.
let's go to the
fucking
Broncos.
scumbag.
You threw it to me, the Patriots. We gave a quick synopsis. I think the Patriots win this weekend and they get in, which
I
breaks
think.
my
Listen,
heart.
I think the Patriots not only win, they get in, and I think the Patriots are going to be that team. Look, if
They
let's
got
say,
nothing to lose.
let's
And they're
say,
a good defense.
Let's say hypothetically the Patriots are the 7 and the Bills are the 2. All of a sudden, depending on what the mental state of the Bills are in. I don't know that I'm putting
Wetsuit game.
I don't know that I'm putting a bean down on the Bills. I think I might be leaning towards the Patriots in that one.
Well, the Patriots become that team like those Ravens teams, which the offense was garbage, but then the defense was always good. Patriots have a good defense. They could score at any time on defense, it feels like.
Yeah.
But the offense, really fucking bad.
Could you imagine like a fucking like AFC championship? It was like Bengals Patriots. We're like,
Oh my God.
Joey, I would
I
would cry unhappiness because I wouldn't know how to feel
Why?
internally.
Really?
Because I'd be like, this team is so bad. How are we here?
Right.
And then it's going to validate having Matt Patricia, that fat piece of shit.
oh
as a
God,
defensive
no.
coordinator.
You're still getting Billy O at the end of the year.
I hope Billy O comes back this week.
Honestly,
What's he doing?
I kind of hope Joe Burrow gets his ring out
There
of
is-
the way
there is
this
absolutely-
year,
there-
so that way I can be like, all right, good. Joe
There
Burrow's
is
got
no
one week,
way
good.
in hell Matt Patricia is the offensive coaching staff next year.
I don't want him on the team.
Put him back on defense. He was great on defense.
I want like that joke with like, I don't even want this man with arms touching the basketball.
Mario Chalmers shouldn't have hands to touch a basketball in the fourth quarter of Miami Heat basketball contest.
I don't want to see Matt Patricia
By the way, they
wearing.
lost to the Celtics the other night. Just,
I don't want to see Matt Patricia wearing.
Aren't the Celtics getting digged down right now?
I think
by
they
the
lost.
Thunder.
I think they
did
lost.
Well, they won the other night.
They were down 20 at the half
Let's see.
to the Thunder.
I think Durant said in the chat that they lost.
Holy shit. No, there's 5.5 left in the fourth. It's 105 to 137.
Oh, wow, it's over.
Yeah. Celtics got smoked tonight. Oh, well.
Tell me again how Jason Tatum is the next coming of Kobe Bryant. Please, I'd love to hear it.
I don't know about
Honestly,
that.
They're pushing him to be MVP this year.
They're
Pushing him hard to be MVP.
They'll give it to one of the honestly, if the Nets keep doing what they're doing, it's going to go to Durant. It'll be Giannis or Durant. Actually, no. Who are we kidding? Luka. It's Luka all day.
Oh, that's true. You finally saw it?
I did before, but not.
That's fucking awesome. All right, 774-992-8702. Patriots talk. The Broncos coaching search. It's starting to heat up. Listen, man, we got Walmart money now. Okay.
You need one?
Yeah, I'll take a spruce.
I got to piss anyway. So.
Like halfy, but whatever.
Wait,
hope-
Walmart money? What you
I know.
what you talking about?
Sean Payton's going to the Cardinals, and I guarantee
No.
Harbaugh's going.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not sure I want Harbaugh. I don't think I want Harbaugh
No,
as our
you
coach.
don't want Harbaugh as your coach.
I'm
not in Denver.
no. I don't want him. I don't like John Harbaugh.
First thing he's gonna do, get rid of that defense.
Sorry, Jim. Sorry, Jim.
Oh yeah, you want John.
I want John. Yes.
Jim goes in there. First thing he's gonna do, get rid of that defense. He's gonna be like, get rid of all these guys. He goes, I need offense, and then you're gonna have a good offense, but you'll have a
No,
terrible
because when he
defense.
was in San Francisco, they had a fucking dope defense
Was that from him though?
with Navarro Bowman and
Was
all
that
those
from
guys.
him? He didn't bring any of those guys in.
No, but that's the thing. I don't think he's going to be the GM. I don't think he's going to be. He's going to be there like, hey, listen, you're the head coach of this team. And here's the thing: the Denver Broncos need in their next head coach. They need a guy. What we need is John Fox in 2011. All right, we've had disaster after disaster after disaster. Excuse me, with our head coaching situations. We need somebody who's going to come in and right the ship. We don't need a splashy, big time name. We don't need Sean Payton. I definitely don't want Sean Payton. I do not want Sean Payton.
Man, he's a good coach though.
Why? Yeah, he's a great coach if you love going one and done in the playoffs.
Yeah, it could be just a shitty conference.
No, I know. I'm all
I
set.
could have been Drew too. Drew made a lot of shitty games in the playoffs.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a Sean Payton.
But he's a good team builder.
But at this point, yeah, but I don't need a team builder. I need a coach.
Okay.
We have a GM. Listen, I still trust George Patton. And, I mean, unless his seat is not only hot, it's on fire right now. If the new head coach coming in says he doesn't want George Patton, guess what? Patton's probably gone. And they're going to get a GM that we want to work with. But Patton's done a great job drafting talent. I'm not going to sit here and waste everybody's time talking about the Denver Broncos all night. But I don't want Harbaugh. I don't want Payton. If I'm going to get a retread, honestly, at this point, keep E squared, our defensive coordinator. Give me Dan Quinn as our head coach, and Schottenheimer Jr. as the OC who's worked with Russ before, and let's make that work. Or I don't want Bieniemy. I definitely I don't want what was the other assistant's name that's the hot name Kellen Moore, D'Amico Ryans. I don't want those guys.
I don't want Gerard Mayo. I don't think he's ready.
Gerard Mayo's definitely not ready. Look, out of all those guys, actually, D'Amico Ryans, I'd be willing to give a shot.
What about young Shoddy?
Junior?
Brian?
Yeah, I'd like him as my OC.
No, as a head.
No. I don't think he's head coach material.
What about? I'm looking at the Vegas odds. What about Jim Caldwell?
No.
What, you don't want the Indian store smoking Indian just standing there with his arms crossed, just staring at you?
How to win Coach of the Year. Step 1, wear a suit. Step 2, Coach Peyton Manning. Bang, boom, all done. Yeah, we don't have Peyton Manning
Wow,
anymore.
Frank Wright is number 5 on Vegas odds. That is very shocking to me.
Yeah, that does not appeal to me either.
Jim Harbaugh in Vegas odds very low. He's number 10.
I think
12-1.
I think Michigan's going to keep Harbaugh. Honestly, I really do. I don't see. I don't see Harbaugh leaving Michigan.
Hey, listen to this.
Because they're going to do everything they can to keep him. They finally got to the playoffs. Granted, they got beat by TCU. And in a game where, what the fuck was Jim Harbaugh doing with his timeouts at the end of that game?
Who the hell knows? He's dog shit.
Idiot.
He's an idiot.
Idiot, dude. Again, this is why I don't want him. Because I'm watching the end of that TCU-Michigan game, and I'm like, okay, call timeout.
Nope.
Okay, call timeout.
Nope.
Why did you just let 47 seconds come out the fucking clock, Jim Harbaugh?
Do you know why? Because he was watching that team, and he was like, you know what? I know something. And the guy's like, yeah, good.
I'm all set with Peyton. I'm all set with Harbaugh. If you're going to give me a retread, give me Dan Quinn with a good staff and just a guy who's going to come in and right the ship. Because again,
according to Vegas, Dan Quinn and Sean Payton are the best odds to become the next Denver head coach.
I don't
Those are
want
the top 2.
And the other reason why I don't want Peyton, I don't want to give the first round pick for him.
You already did that.
No, I'm just saying I don't
enough.
want to give up a first round pick for Sean Payton. He's a mediocre. I'm not gonna say he's mediocre. He's a good head coach.
Listen,
you don't give up first round picks for good head coaches.
Listen.
You give up picks for great head coaches. The last time we saw somebody give up picks for a head coach was the Raiders with the Bucks, and they got John Gruden. What did they get? They got one Super Bowl win out of him, and then he proceeded to grind that franchise into the fucking ground over the next 7 years.
how do you feel about this 50-1 favorite, 50-1 odds, Peyton Manning?
Nah, he said he's all set. He already
No,
said he's
I
all
know,
set.
but it's on Vegas odds. People can bet on it. And then below Peyton,
I feel like that dude behind the tree.
yeah.
Yeah, that was
Hey,
from
150 to 1
DMX
odds.
movie.
150 to 1 odds.
Belly?
Shannon Sharp.
No.
I know. 150 to 1.
Exit Wounds.
Actually, good movie.
I think it was Exit Wounds.
Shannon
Cradle
Sharp.
to the Grave.
Cradle, yeah, I
One
think
of those.
It was Cradle to the Grave.
Cradle to the Grave. Yeah. I knew I was close. I'm like,
No, I don't want any of those guys. To be honest, at this point, just give me a guy who's a vanilla head coach, who's he's not going to blow the games for you, but he's not necessarily going to be like, oh my God, this guy's the next Mike Shanahan, Bill Belichick, fucking
Coobs.
fucking what's his name out in fucking LA, McVay, or like look how quick Mike McDaniels has fallen from grace.
Yeah, well, but you don't know. I mean,
Or McDaniel, sorry, Mike McDaniel.
he had
right?
fucking.
S.
I mean, when he had Tua, fucking McDaniels was great, and all of a sudden,
Yeah, they were losing even with Tua though.
Dude,
Yeah,
they
well, that's what I'm saying though.
they
but
went
like, Tua's
3-0.
not.
Listen to this. They went 3-0, 0-3, 5-0, 0-5.
All right, that's not too bad, I guess. For like
That
a
is
guy-
very bad.
for a guy who's like
They're gonna miss
first
the
year, like-
playoffs.
yeah, I know.
I mean, think about it.
They need a
Did
lot of help.
anybody plan on them making the
A month-
playoffs? Did
two-
anybody plan on them
2
going
months-
5-0?
A month ago, we
Even
were
for a
talking about Mike
stretch?
McDaniel being coach of the year, and like this guy's the
No,
guy.
No, they were.
He's the
They
next.
were.
He's the next fucking
No,
genius.
I didn't even have him on the. No.
Dude, a month ago?
A month ago.
A month
Oh,
ago,
they were-
they had 4 losses.
But like I said,
Yeah.
they were up and down, up and down. I thought he was a good coach and a good fit for the Dolphins, but they needed to supplement Tua. I mean, I like Tua when he's healthy.
Listen.
I don't mind him. I don't think he's going to win you the big one, but
The problem with
they
the
did
pineapple.
all right.
The problem with the Pineapple Prince, it's not his throwing motion. It's not.
It's his brain
It's
now.
the fact that he's lefty. It's not. It's not even the concussions.
He's taters, man.
He's too injury prone.
Yeah, he's
He
mashed
can't stay
taters.
healthy in
Snake
the league.
bitten.
Yeah,
He's
he's
Trent Green.
fucked,
He's scrambled
bro.
eggs. And
brother's coming up.
I
We'll
feel
see how he
I
does.
feel bad. Yeah. The second Pineapple Prince.
Yeah.
What's his brother's name?
Like same thing.
Uh,
It's like
it's
same
not
thing.
Tua.
No, it's like
Tualan.
yeah, it
something
is.
crazy.
It's like something that's the same fucking thing almost. Because of the T, it's just not Tua. It's like to gondola. No, it's not.
Talia. Oh, my
Talia.
God.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You're going to be shitting me.
yeah, he's coming up.
Talia Tagovailoa. I can't even say it. It's a tongue twister.
But
Drafted by the Dolphins. Oh,
at the
here
end
we
of the
go
at the
again.
end of the day, if we end up with Harbaugh, like I guess it could be worse. I don't know, man.
you're not going to be happy.
No, and honestly, I really don't think I'm going to be happy with whoever we get because, quite frankly,
I'm sorry. I know you don't agree. I like Sean Payton. Sean Payton is
I-
a good coach.
Fuck you! Don't you say that? The Colts want Sean Payton.
I don't
would
want-
you be happy with? Who are the candidates out there that
He
you
wants
would
Dan
say,
Quinn.
you know what?
He wants Dan Quinn.
That's it though. That's your one. That's your one, and that's it. You got one. Guy
honestly,
on the list?
like,
Dan Quinn sucks. He's the only guy who can't make decisions.
but
and the pressure's on.
I don't so much care about the head coach, whoever we bring
Cliff
in.
Kinsey is gonna be out this year. Do you want
is-
to just him go to?
Nah, I'm all
Arizona?
set with him.
All
Like
right.
He's a great OC. I'll take him in OC. in a
OC,
heartbeat.
yes, absolutely. I'm more concerned with who the staff is going to be than the head coach. I don't really give a fuck who the head coach is going to be. Like, look, Nathaniel Hackett.
The head coach is like the president of the U.S. They really don't have much power.
Nathaniel Hackett was clearly in over his head this year.
What's the
And-
new
and
report?
he-
They were going
and
to fire him once they didn't get Aaron Rodgers. Did you see that report?
No, that's bullshit.
That is bullshit.
It's bullshit. They did not bring him in to lure Aaron Rodgers to Denver. That was never.
I thought it was before they even said that.
It was because it was between it was between Hackett and what's his name from Minnesota, the offensive coordinator for the Rams that went to Minnesota. Fucking what's his-
Kellen?
No,
Not Kellen.
the current
Oh,
head coach of the
Christ.
Minnesota Vikings.
Oh,
I know it's the OC.
young
I can't
ass
think of his
kid.
name.
Oh God
Yeah,
damn
I
it!
can't
Tits Magoo.
Yeah, we can't. I mean,
Kevin O'Connell. Jesus
Thank you.
Christ. It was between him. It was basically between Kevin O'Connell and Nathaniel Hackett. They went with Hackett, and they liked what they saw in him. And listen, from every report I've read and seen and heard, every single player loved Nathaniel Hackett, loved playing for him, loved him as a head coach. But the issues we saw at week 1, 4th down and 5, you got a $240 million quarterback, and you opt for a 69-yard field goal or 67-yard field goal, which, not for nothing, would have been good if it was on target, but it was a little left. Yeah, all the leg was there. But again, like, you're like, damn, like, okay, that's questionable. Like, what are we doing here? The offense, I mean, they had 400-something yards of offense. You're thinking, okay, we'll figure this out. Like it'll come around. And they just didn't. And then the bad coaching decisions piled up, and the challenges and the timeouts and the lack of thereof, or vice versa. Like and it wasn't. He was a player's coach, but a lot of the times when you have a player's coach, they're not always the best coaches. Like
you can lose a locker room. I feel like
not even lose a locker. He never lost the locker room. He just couldn't coach in game.
Right, well, yeah.
Which is why he had to bring in an assistant, the guy who's Rustberg, the guy who's the head coach, the interim head coach right now, Jerry. He was brought in as an advisor to just kind of be like, what I market myself as, like, hey, just stick me in the booth with a headphone, and every once in a while I'll chime in and go, bad idea.
Hey,
don't do
they
that.
almost beat KC.
Twice. We played Kansas City twice. Tough.
And they
tough
Denver
twice
looked,
this year.
Denver looked good this week.
I know. Russ had, 2 rushing touchdowns?
Yeah, and then look at
made
this.
good decisions.
As soon as Nathaniel Hackett's gone, Russ is like, I'm playing better.
Yep.
And look at this shit. So I wanted to get to the roughing the passer.
it's
I'm
crazy,
glad you
right?
did this because
Instant.
look at this shit. So this was not called roughing the passer in today's NFL. All right, this is in the fourth quarter
Go on.
the game-ending interception that Russell Wilson threw. All right.
On the floor behind you, baby.
You see him, look,
him
pick
now?
it up. He's going to look, Chris Jones grabs him, picks him up, and body slam.
It's garbage.
In what world is that not roughing the passer? Like, I even in my, like, look, if the rules hadn't changed and he did that, if this was 2003, I'd be like, yeah, that's what you're supposed to do.
Is what it is.
But in
100%.
today's game, that's not roughing the passer.
No, that
Considering
is.
what Herbert got called on, or who was it a couple weeks ago, the most ridiculous one we've ever fucking seen.
There's been more than a few.
There's a few this year.
That
I'm
didn't
like,
get
what
called.
the
I mean,
fuck?
look at this. Look at this one more time.
On the floor
This is,
behind you, baby.
by all
You see him now?
accounts,
Who's getting called baby?
it's somebody just videotaping the TV at home. I couldn't actually find the game. He gets picked up and body slammed to the ground. That is in every sense of the word roughing the passer. You can't do that
And
anymore.
I love Chris Jones, too.
You can't
I
put
do too.
force. You can't put force to somebody going to the floor.
And then you have this play with Nick Foles, your boy. This one.
Oh,
Which
my
is tough
God.
because Kayvon Thibodeau was a fucking duck, and I'm like, wow, dude, I loved you in Oregon, but that is some classless bullshit, and I blame the other fucking Giants players for not being
no,
like,
no. This isn't even that. This isn't even that. We're not even doing that one.
Oh.
No. Watch this shit.
Thing, Kevin. Part of it is because I know what you're
because
gonna
of the
say.
way they protect
He hits
quarterbacks now, and
Foles,
if you hit him,
right? Look at this. He
Thing,
hits Foles,
Kevin.
boom.
Part of
and
it
then
is
he pulls his hands
because
up like,
true.
oh, no.
Because
Foles
of
is
the way
still on
they
his feet.
protect
And he
quarterbacks
still
now, and
manages
if you
to
hit
throw
him,
an incompletion because he's Nick Foles. But that's what roughing the passer penalties have come to. So how do you have on one hand, you have a defender for the Giants. He pulled a Matthias Kiwanuka there. It was Vince Young. Remember that?
Yes.
But that was back in 2006. That was Vince Young's rookie year when he had VY wrapped up and then was like, let him go because you didn't want to get the penalty. And then VY was just like, sweet, thanks, and takes off the first down. And Tom Coughlin's like, under him, like, are you fucking all red in the face? And it
That's
was.
what you should get. You should try to get Tom Coughlin out of retirement.
No, I'm all set, thanks.
Nah, yeah,
I'm
no.
kidding.
But that's where we're at now with roughing the passer. And then to prove my point that the Chiefs are the new Patriots in terms of getting all the calls and all the sweetheart calls.
Don't be upset.
This is 4 minutes left in the third quarter, I think this was. The Broncos were up 17-14, third and 17. And Cortland Sutton makes this catch.
Get a chance to see.
And they
Here
call
it
this
is.
offensive pass interference.
Oh, a little shove with the right arm. I mean, that's to me, that's.
All he did was wave off.
Get
the
a
guy's
chance to see. Here it is. Oh, a little shove with the right arm. I mean, that's.
That is
all he did was get your arm off me.
That
And
is about as bullshit of a call. But that again, the Chiefs are the new Patriots. They get all the calls. They always, and that's how it's going to be. They are the new sweetheart darlings of the NFL. It is a terrible fucking call. Look, I'm not going to sit here and say that the NFL is rigged. But when you see calls like this, the people like my uncle, like Uncle Nick, who sit here and laugh at us because we get so emotionally invested in these games. He's like, why are you wasting all this energy? You know this is fixed, right? Like, it's all scripted. It's all real. Like, none of this is real.
That's why I love wrestling.
And we're like, no, fuck you. No, it's not. It's all real. And then you see shit like that, and you're like,
bring back John Cena.
God damn it! I fucking hate to admit it, but Uncle Nick was right.
I wish Brock Lesnar was playing in the NFL right now.
Hey,
it's a little bit more fucking real.
This past Friday night, I don't know how this happened. I don't know how he saw it. Cole, my son, 4 years old, he goes, Daddy, is John Cena wrestling tonight? And I was like, actually, he is. And he goes, okay. And he asked to watch. I was like, first of all, how the fuck did you know he was wrestling tonight? He's been gone for over a year.
Yeah.
And two, how do you just casually ask me that and just be like, okay? Like, and then he stood up until the match was over, and then he immediately fell asleep. Immediately. I'm blown away.
All right. Do we want to kill it there? We good? We got everything?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
We pretty much mashed everything, yeah.
If we didn't have that game last night, we didn't have a lot to talk about, man.
Well, we did. We
Brady,
had Jair
Well, we would have
Alexander.
talked about the outcome of whatever happened with the Bills.
Yeah, I know. But Brady, the meme of the guy celebrating in 7th place is the Buccaneers.
Yeah.
I love that meme.
All the other teams
with
are like
biting the gold. The
bronze, the 7th place
not
bronze.
gold, yeah, but
Oh, we didn't do the classy Philly. Okay, I thought.
honestly, I don't think we touched on.
Excuse me. I thought we didn't.
Honestly, to touch real quick on the Kayvon Thibodeau thing with like Nick Foles and all that shit.
Oh,
like,
the Snow
yeah.
Angel.
The Snow Angel celebration.
Honestly, I don't blame Kayvon as much because he's literally on the ground right next to Nick Foles, looking up. How can he see him?
Let's preface.
He's
hold on,
screaming in pain next to
Preface
him.
that for the listeners. A lot of people have no idea what you're talking about.
No.
Kayvon Thibodeau sacks Nick Foles. Nick Foles goes to the ground. It looks like he tears like an abdomen or something.
It looks like he's
writhing and wincing in pain
like
on the ground, and
feet.
literally right next to him, Kayvon Thibodeau's doing snow angels.
Right.
And
Guess
I had two problems with this. One, not a single Colts offensive lineman
Cared.
came over and like grabbed Kayvon Thibodeau and like yoked him up. And two, not
Even
a single one of the Giants defenders was like, "Hey, bruh,
chill,
bro, chill." Like,
classless.
yo, he's hurt.
I can't wait to see
Jeff
him go one
Saturday
and
called
done.
it. Jeff Saturday called him out on it. Said it was classless. He said it was tasteless. Whatever
Yep,
it was.
I can't wait to see them go one and done in the playoffs. See you later.
And
Fuck outta
I don't
here.
ever root against the G-men. I won't. But
This time I will.
but again, I had a problem with the fact that the Giants players didn't go over to their boy and be like, "Yo, hey, chill. He's hurt.
But if the Colts do it
And
to
then-
Kayvon,
but
it's
that- but-
instant beef. It's beef on sight.
Yeah, but that's fine. That's what you're supposed to do as an offensive lineman. You protect your quarterback.
Yeah.
You go over there, that man's celebrating. I don't give a shit. You go over there and fucking knee drop his ass.
Mm-hmm.
You give him the big motherfucking leg and you knock his
fight him.
ass out.
Yeah, I'll
We're
separate
fighting,
your
bro.
fucking torso.
Like, oh, you want to celebrate my quarterback being hurt? I'm going to fuck you up. That's the mentality you have to have as a power pig in the NFL.
Yeah, they don't have that. Not this year.
It's not there. Jeff Saturday was bullshit.
I know.
Yeah, he
Bullshit.
should have been, because if he was out there, he would have done something.
I guarantee you
Yeah.
that offensive line room got an earful
I feel like that
from
offensive
Jeff
line room,
Saturday
I
after.
feel like that line room has like checked out from like week 8 on.
Oh, big
Quentin
time.
Nelson's getting beat fucking left.
I think he
and
doesn't care.
Right,
He was like
bro.
a
I'm
stud.
like, what in the fuck is going on? Maybe he's just like, screw it. I got my guaranteed money. I'm not putting my life on the line. Like my health, my safety, whatever. Like, well, yeah, it's what you signed up for, man. Like, I don't get the Colts this year. We were literally just a fraction of a better quarterback away from being a playoff team, and we completely just said fuck this and turned the ship around.
I don't know. I mean, the Colts they were an enigma to me. I have no idea what happened there, why they were so bad. Like that defense, that offense, that the fact they got Matt Ryan.
Shaq Leonard has to be traded.
Like,
Yeah,
look, I
that's
mean, the
crazy.
Colts are like.
Did he
Yeah.
really?
The Colts are like 4 moves away though from opening up like $100 million in cap space.
Mm-hmm.
Like they move on from Matt Ryan, they trade Ngakoue. Oh no, not Ngakoue.
Defoe.
DeForest Buckner.
I can't believe he's gonna be a free agent.
They can cut Stephon Gilmore and what's your center's name?
Ryan Kelly.
They get rid of Ryan Kelly. Those contracts come out the books, and the Colts all of a sudden have $100 million in cap space.
Yeah, it's a lot of spending.
It's a lot of money to spend, and I feel like if Sean Payton comes in, brings in like, I don't know, say a Brother Baker, the touchdown maker.
I love Sean Payton. I would be so fucking pumped. If
You give
him.
Sean Payton the Colts.
I swear to God.
And $100 million in cap space. Listen, bro.
He spends it all in 26 minutes.
I'm telling you right now, dude. The Colts.
Probably a really smart 26 minutes.
The Colts will be a Super Bowl contender
He hires a
within
pimp.
6 weeks.
He hires a pimp.
Yeah, all of a sudden.
By the end of free agency, the Colts will be a Super Bowl contender.
Gardner Minshew goes to the Colts. I'm like,
dude, he is awful.
I'm like, fuck.
I know it's fun to root for Gardner Minshew because like,
I'd rather have Duggan from TCU off the draft.
He's so bad, Gardner Minshew. He looks like shit for the Eagles.
Well, he just played his first game. I mean, come on, the kid's never really gotten a lot of
But he's not that good. He had that couple of Fitzpatrick type hype.
I know, and then that was it. But, well, whatever.
All right. Well, we'll leave it there, boys. Good show tonight. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Please be sure to give us a like and a follow on Facebook.
Yeah.
And the show will be up on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts, iHeartRadio. This will be up and loaded within an hour, so you can listen to it again and again and again. Please be sure to give us a subscribe on Spotify. 5-star ratings help on whatever platform you're listening on as well. We appreciate you all. Happy New Year. And we will talk to you again next Tuesday night, 8:30 p.m. Or 8:45, whatever, I don't know.
We'll see you.
Right here on the one, the only, the New Bedford Guide, Joey Fats Radio, Row 1C1 from Mr. Betancourt and Plizzy. I am Joey Fats. We'll talk to y'all next week.
Peace.
Peace.